Wouldn't lie to you, doesn't matter what I do. She's got a hold on me. She knows how to drive a truck, but she lets me pick her up when we're going dancing. My heart stops beating when my headlights shining on her. She's my country girl. I couldn't tell you what she's doing with me. She's so damn out of my league. She's a little bit crazy on the weekends, dancing in her red dress, and I love the way she looks in my eyes. And I'm feeling like midnight's getting closer, and I just wanna hold her in my arms till the sun comes up. She's a little bit country. Yeah, she's my country girl. She's a little bit country. Yeah, she's my country girl. She can let her hair down, but got her feet on the ground. I can't get enough of her. She can drive me so wild, just with that sweet smile, and there's nobody else for me. My heart starts racing every time I'm looking at her. She's my country girl. I couldn't tell you what she's doing to me. She's so damn out of my league. She's a little bit crazy on the weekends, dancing in her red dress, and I love the way she looks in my eyes. And I'm feeling like midnight's getting closer, and I just wanna hold her in my arms till the sun comes up. She's a little bit country. Yeah, she's my country girl. She's a little bit country. Yeah, she's my country girl. Guitar. Yeah. All right. Wouldn't lie to you, doesn't matter what I do. She's got a hold on me. Ah. She's a little bit crazy on the weekends, dancing in her red dress, and I love the way she looks in my eyes. And I'm feeling like midnight's getting closer, and I just wanna hold her in my arms till the sun comes up. She's a little bit country. Yeah, she's my country girl. She's a little bit country. Yeah, she's my country girl.
For the first time in ages, I wake up and don't hate it. I guess I found some peace. Through the day to the evening, without shouting and screaming, something new to me. Alone without being lonely, getting back to the old me. It's kinda nice to feel free. I thought this was over, thought I could control it. But if I speak the truth, I ain't over you. I was feeling sober until you came up now. I don't know what to do. I ain't over you. I ain't over. I ain't over. No matter what I do, I ain't over you. Give it time, things will settle. Just a face till it's better, yeah. Heard it all before. Even though we were toxic, feels the most when you've lost it. That's just how it goes. By myself feeling lonely, can't get back to the old me. I'm stuck in way too deep.
She ain't over. She ain't over you. Oh my goodness. Hello everybody. Welcome. It is Friday. Friday, actually. Hopefully everybody's having a good week. Let's see. How do I work YouTube again? Oh yeah, this button, right? Hello. Welcome everybody. Welcome chat. It is Friday. It is the Doll Symposium week. It is episode 63 of the Doll Symposium. As always, I am your host, Shizusan, and my my lovely assistant with me today is the very beautiful Moment. The reason why I'm laughing is because I don't know why I did that, but when I said my name, Shizusan, it's like, I don't know, something came over me where I was like, I gotta say it like Unicron. You know, like, do you guys ever watch the original Transformers movie from 1986? The big planet-eating Unicron, and he's like, "It is I, Unicron. I've summoned you, Megatron, for a purpose." And like when I said my name, I'm like, "It is your host, Shizusan." I don't know. For some reason, I got a kick out of it. I thought it was just really funny. I don't know. It might have gone over some of y'all's heads because I don't know how many of you actually watched like the old 1986 Transformers movie. So that probably kind of flew over your heads, but who knows? Who knows? But let's see. Who is here tonight? We have Kami Faye. Kami Faye, welcome to the stream. Kitten Cat Shop, welcome to the stream. How was the eclipse? Yoshi Plays, welcome to the stream. Thank you for coming. Scruffy looking nerd hoarder, welcome. I hope you guys had a very lovely vacation. Let's see who else is in here. Cymex, welcome Cymex to the stream. It's lovely to have you. I'm glad you could make it to the live stream today. So today is the 63rd episode of the Doll Symposium. As you guys all know, the Doll Symposium is a news week. So this week we are talking about the news. Barbie Witch, welcome to the stream, Barbie Witch. Hello. We got a good bunch of people today. Jay Louisa, welcome to the stream, Jay Louisa. How's it going? I think we might not have PMB Sakura tonight because PMB Sakura is technically right now in Tokyo, I believe. So PMB Sakura, if you're watching this later on the vlogs, I hope you're enjoying your trip, enjoying the photos, my man. Be safe, enjoy the rest of your trip. So let's see. I think that is everybody so far that has sounded off in chat. Okay, so yes, Moment is looking very lovely today. She hasn't come out in quite some time, actually. I think probably since Otakon last July. So I was like, you know what? Moment needs to come out. She needs to come out of the display case. And, you know, I know I talk about it all the time on my streams that my dolls kind of have like forever outfits. This wasn't intended to be her forever outfit. It was actually supposed to be the Mori girl outfit, which she originally was wearing. And the only reason why this is now her forever outfit, because this outfit is now very special to me. Not only is it a very hard outfit to get from a very wonderful dressmaker that only sells in Japan conventions. So they don't really sell online. So I had to hire somebody to go get this for me. But the thing that makes it even more significant is that it's actually signed on her petticoat. I know I've said this before, but for those that are new to my channel that don't know, if we open up her petticoat, you see here? Where is it? I'm trying to show it to you guys because everything's in reverse. Hold on, it's on this side. Hold on. I can't even right now because everything's backwards. See? I have the very lovely signature of Shibuya Kaho. I had an awesome experience meeting her at Otakon last July, and she was nice enough to sign this outfit. Even though she didn't make it, she had nothing to do with it. I just had nothing else to give her to sign, and I was like, oh, let's make this unique. So the very lovely Shibuya Kaho signed her outfit, and this is now forever staying on Moment. She's not changing out of this outfit ever again. So now I need to find a new doll to wear the Mori girl outfit. Okay. She needs her moment. She definitely does. Moment needs her moment in the sun, in the lights, in the dim lights of my very small and very dark office. Very thirsty today too. As you guys know, I'm wearing my jersey today because my team is doing well. They clinched the playoffs. Hopefully we'll actually win the Stanley Cup this year. Who knows? I have no idea. They choked last year, so. Okay, so anyways, before we get started with the news, couple housekeeping things to go over, and that is Thy Geekdom Con. I told you guys I'm going to say this every single week until we get to the con, but this May 24th through the 26th is going to be Thy Geekdom Con in Pennsylvania. We are not paid for and or sponsored by this con whatsoever. However, this con is very gracious enough to give us a second year where we get our own doll booth. So we are going to have a doll booth again this year at Thy Geekdom Con. We're going to have many, many different dolls on display, not just smart dolls, not just Dolphy Dreams, but many other kind of dolls for everybody to love and enjoy. There also will be a workshop and a photo booth, so come down, hang out with us. A couple of us are going to be there, so it's myself, as well as Kit and Cat Shop will be there. Becca from Ningyo Bingo, who goes by Tempest Strife, as you guys some of you guys know in the chat, will also be there, and my lady Disdain tentatively will be there. I believe they're still coming, but they're working out like scheduling things because they're going also, I believe, to Seattle. So I don't know if both of them will make it or only one of them will make it. Still got to figure it out on what's going on. But we will all be there, as well as some other doll enthusiasts. We are also giving away a couple of free dolls and some little knickknacks and accessories as well. So come on down. No personal information is going to be exchanged, and no money is going to be exchanged at all in order to enter any of these contests. So you just come on down, hang out at the booth, ask for a ticket, and then you'll be entered into the lottery for a free doll. I don't have a picture to show you guys, but if you go to Becca's YouTube channel, which is the Ningyo Bingo YouTube channel, she does have a a feature video of the doll that we're giving away for free. So definitely check out her YouTube channel for that. Yo, Ben Benjamin, welcome to the stream. Both Cat and Ben are here. Yes, what's up, you two? How's things going over in Texas? I gotta make it down there one day. I know I say that all the time, but I really do. I kind of want to move down there, actually. I'm getting sick and tired of Jersey, but that's like a whole different discussion, I would say. But yeah, Thy Geekdom Con, May 24th through the 26th. Just come down and just hang out. We're trying to grow our community here on the eastern seaboard of the U.S. I think there's a community actually already here in the eastern seaboard, but they are further south. I think there is a community in like South Carolina-ish area that meets up and a lot. But I'm trying to get something started up here in the Northeast. So if any of you that are watching this at some point in time are living here in the Northeast area, come down to Thy Geekdom Con. Come meet some like-minded doll enthusiasts just like yourself, or even if you're just a lurker, if you're just like interested in the hobby but you don't know what to do and you want to see them in person, come on down. We'll give you a full tour of any doll that's on display so that you can enjoy the festivities and enjoy your time at Thy Geekdom Con. So let me see. I think Becca is doing, or Tempest Strife rather. I don't know which name to use nowadays. I believe she is also doing a doll panel at this con. I usually do panels at this con, but I forego my panel working abilities this time around because I kind of want to focus on meeting all you lovely people that will be there, because sometimes when I do panels I kind of split my time between meeting people and doing panels, but this time around I kind of just want to hang out with you guys. No panels at Thy Geekdom for me. Am I missing anything else? I probably will do some kind of giveaways on my own that has nothing to do with the booth. It's just something I like to do all the time for most conventions, that I go to. Kat says, we need to make it up to you guys. Hopefully we can do Thy Geekdom Con next year. That would be awesome. That would be awesome. I actually am trying to see if I can get down to you guys in Texas at some point in time. I really do. It's just the debate of whether or not I fly or drive, really. Obviously, the wife and kids don't want to drive because it's a really long drive. But I want to save money, so it's kind of want to drive. But we'll see. We'll see. Maybe by next year, airline places will be a little bit brighter. better. I said brighter, but a little bit better. Linda Hedgewall, welcome to the stream, Linda. Woohoo! Kami Faye says, I need to win the lotto so I can fly to the US for a doll con. Danny will never come to Australia, and I would love to meet everyone too. Yeah, I don't know. I honestly don't know if he has any plans to go to Australia. I know that he wants to expand his horizons on different places to go. So, I mean, he's been to the East Coast plenty of times. He's been to the West Coast plenty of times. Although, to be fair, the times he went to the West Coast was like earlier on in the Smart Doll years, and now he's going back to the West Coast again. But he's done the East Coast very recently, like a bunch of times, which we're very thankful for that here in the East Coast. We love having Danny over here. And I know he's going out to Europe for, what was that London con? I forgot the name of it, but he's going over to Europe this year. I'm hoping that he will branch out. I love having him here on the East Coast. I want him to keep coming, but I understand that the rest of my doll family still wants to meet Danny, and you guys all live on different places of the world. So, you know, if he can make it out to Australia, I know Australia does have an anime convention once a year. There's like this one convention. I remember somebody saying it. I forgot what it was called, but you know, if there's enough interest, you know, if you guys can like let him know that, hey, there's a huge crowd of Australians that want to meet you, Danny. He might. You never know. I keep saying that he's need to visit down south too. Like the southern United States, probably Texas. Maybe Florida-ish kind of area, because there's a lot of doll people in those areas too. He should definitely go swing by and meet the people down there. But Danny is his own person, and he makes his own decisions. So if he decides to go at one point, sure, but we gotta let him know that we want him to come there. We gotta shout to the ceilings and do our manifestations to let Danny know that we want him in X or YZ place. So definitely let him know that, either on any post really, because he reads all the posts. So it doesn't have to be a con related post. It could be a doll release, and just put it in there. Hey, Danny, when you come into Australia, we would love to see you. Definitely let him know, because the more outreach or the more outcries for people to want to do something or want to meet him, he has the potential to make it happen. He just wants, he's just not going to go somewhere that nobody's interested kind of thing. So definitely, let him know, put some word out there. We drive down there, want to tag along. You know what? Maybe. We'll see, actually, Corey. I honestly don't know, but it depends if I'm going solo or if I'm bringing the family. That's like the big thing, because if I'm bringing the family, I think that's a little too much to fit in the car. You have a great big convoy rocking through the night. Oh my goodness. We probably would. Kat says, Scruffy Nerf Order, that would be so much fun. It definitely does sound like fun. Kami Faye says, we do Supernova. At least that's what we have in QLD. I'm assuming means Queensland, right? But yeah, I don't know if that's the name. Maybe there's more than one, or maybe that is the one. I don't remember the name. Obviously, I'm not Australian, so I don't I don't know. I remember hearing it in passing that you definitely have like a really big anime convention that happens every year in Australia. Tempest Strife, welcome to the stream. I'm sorry, did I miss someone say Dolly road trip? Yeah, we were thinking maybe next year for DollCon we'll all take a convoy trip down. So maybe we'll see. We gotta hash out these plans, people. But I definitely want to make it out to DollCon Dallas. I know a lot of you, my viewers, and a lot of my Lady Disdain's viewers, and just doll people in general, that a lot of you go to DollCon Dallas, and every year it's getting bigger. And I really got to make my way down there for reals. Like, I want to meet all of you. It's so far away. So I got to really like plan this thing out. We could rent out an Airbnb and hang out together. My house is not big, sadly enough. None of us are, Kat. I don't think any of us have like big houses. People might think I do, but I really don't. I just spend most of my money on dolls and not the house, which it should be the other way around. I swear to God, I'll buy CBs for everyone. Dude, that's going to be so cool. We're all going to be driving down in a big convoy. It's like, Can you hear me, Kitten Cat Shop? Do you want to hit up that pancake place? Roger and out. Tempest says maybe no workshop this year. 2 panels. Resin. Oh, so resin versus vinyl and doll cosplay. Okay, so you're gonna do 2 panels. No workshop? I thought we were doing a workshop. Okay, even if there's no workshop, there's gonna be a photo booth, which also means if there's no workshop, we have more room to display a bunch of dolls. So if you guys want to see a bunch of dolls from different varieties, not just the same companies, definitely come down to Thy Geekdom Con May 24th through the 26th. You won't regret it. At least I hope you won't, because we always have fun down there. So we would love to meet you guys if you're able to come down to Thy Geekdom Con this year. It is next month. It's coming up really, really soon. So make sure you buy your tickets. They're not very expensive tickets too, because it's getting bigger every year, but it's not like an Anime NYC. Okay, so you're not paying like $120 for tickets, but I believe it's like $45 for the whole weekend, which is not that bad, like convention wise, as most conventions usually range from like the smallest of conventions, usually around like $20, $25, and like the bigger ones, obviously they can be, really high, like $200 to $500. But $45 for one person for the whole weekend is not a bad deal. Especially to come out and hang out with like-minded doll people. But not only that, it is Thy Geekdom Con, so there's a lot more than just us doll folk there. You're gonna have your Legos, you're gonna have your comics, you're gonna have your video games, your anime. There's a bunch of stuff there. Tabletop. I think there was like some tabletop vendors that were there. As tabletop is getting really big nowadays. There's a lot of factors that contribute to that. One of them being, Baldur's Gate 3, that's getting a lot of people interested. And because of Baldur's Gate 3, people are learning about Critical Role, and there's a lot of people that's really interested in these kind of things. So hopefully, there will be some tabletop vendors there as well. I still have to dip my feet into the actual D&D world. I've only played the video game, but now I'm like curious. CB radio got us rolling. Yo, I'm telling you, Kat, that would be funny. That really there is this video. I know you guys want to get to the news. I'm so sorry. I'm Tangent King. This is the Tangent King's realm. But what's funny about that, Kat and Corey, is that when you were saying a convoy with CB radios, we actually used to do that here in Jersey. Like I used to be, way before I got into the doll hobby, I used to be in the car hobby. I know I've mentioned this a few times. And when we would go roll out to car shows, we would drive in a big convoy. It'd be like maybe 10 to 15 cars all driving in a line. We all had CB radios. And it was cool. It was really a cool time. And you know what it reminds me of too? You remember like in fighter jets, like in Top Gun, how the fighter jets all fly in formation? That's kind of like what it was, but it was cars going down the highway. It's just like 15 of us deep. It was a lot of fun. We could probably do that for dolls with DollCon Dallas Convoy. That's what we're gonna call it. 2025. There you go. DollCon Dallas Convoy 2025. Be there or be square. Nobody take the alias Candy Cane. I don't know about that. I'm not taking it. Convoy like that movie with Burt Reynolds and Sally Fields, of which name currently escaped me. Wasn't that like Midnight Run? Isn't that called Midnight Run, where they had to drive from East Coast to West Coast in a certain amount of time and they win like $1 million? That movie would be Smokey and the Bandit. Okay, I'm thinking of a totally different one, Corey. My bad. Can I have a radio that reaches to Texas? I want to be a fly on the wall for the trip. Maybe? I don't know. I don't think it'll reach that far, Kat. Maybe we can get you on a Discord call. My reserves are Summer Bivouac Convoy. DC 2025. I'm happy to drive to a doll con in a convoy. Yeah, come on, Matt. You should come with us. If this is really going to be a thing, oh my God, this is going to be crazy. Like legit, I know we're all like kind of teasing, but legit, if we do like a doll convoy down to Texas from East Coast, New Jersey area, that would be ridiculous. Just rocking up to Texas, like how many cars deep full of dolls? Let's do this. Let's make it happen somehow. Midnight Run had Robert De Niro and Charles Grodin. Oh, my bad. got the actors wrong. I used to love that. Hashtag Dollvoy. Oh my god, we're gonna make this a thing. Hashtag Dollvoy 2025. We got to be specific because I don't know if anyone's ever done a doll convoy before. I'm going to get us a chain of rooms. Heck yeah, hashtag Dollvoy. Oh my god. We'll see. We'll see. I mean, honest to God, I really want to make it out down there because there's a lot of you doll folk that are in that Texas area or at least travel to DollCon, and I really want to get down there and just hang out with you guys and meet you guys. I really do. So I'm trying my best to make this happen next year. But it does happen in February. So, it's nice because it's cold here. So it's nice for me to escape somewhere a lot warmer. But also it's very far. And since it's in the middle of the school year, and I don't know if I can take the kids with me, because they have school. So I may have to go by myself. We'll see how it goes. I'm working it out with the missus. I already told her I really want to go next year. And obviously I got the okay. But things can change. You never know what happens in real life. Things can throw curveballs at you and, you may not be able to go. But I really want to try for next year. I really do. So we'll see. We'll see, and we'll try to make it happen. Hopefully I can meet some of you down there. Matt says a doll convoy would make some sense. There's a really strong overlap between the doll and the car scenes in JP. There actually is somehow. I didn't even know that was a thing, but apparently that's like a real thing. Like I've seen pictures of those like car meetups where the dolls are on the hood or like at the front of the bumper of the car where like mass pictures are taken. I've seen that before. You're not wrong, Matt. We need window clings made for the cars in the convoy. Let's all get ham radio licenses. You don't need to know Morse code for base level license anymore. Oh my goodness. We're getting too deep into this, people. The Cannonball Run. Oh no. But see, the Cannonball Run that was like 24 hours driving, man. Like I can't do that. No way. I mean, how long is it to drive to Texas? Isn't it like 17 hours or something like that, or 21 hours from Jersey? That's a really long drive. Like I don't think that I could do that straight. It would have to be like a 2-dayer. I would have to like take a break somewhere. And if we do a doll convoy, we might need several days because depending on this doll convoy, we might want to make stops to eat, you know what I mean? Get some fried chicken down south. I don't know. Get some mac and cheese. Like what else is really popular down south? Like fried chicken, mac and cheese, collard greens. Get some soul food along the way. Stop at the world's largest frying pan, wherever that is. There's a lot of things we could stop at. Imagine doing a doll meetup at the world's largest frying pan from this Doll Convoy 2025. Dollvoy 2025. Oh my god. The ideas that are being hashed out on this whole like fictional thing. We leave Jersey down the East Coast to the SE folks, hang a right and head to Texas. Ham radio license isn't that hard. I got mine just doing a practice test for like a week. Really? I will print them for y'all. You just need to drink a lot of 5-hour energy. Oh my god, I'd be bouncing off the walls in the car. You don't do it all at once. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Then it turns into 25-hour energy. Give me kolaches, tamales, and Whataburger, and I'm good. Dude, what is a kolaches? I know a tamale. I assume I know what a Whataburger is. I can set aside a couple of days PTO for dolls and brisket. There are so many chicken places, it's kind of insane. In our tiny town, a dozen chicken places. Yeah, I could believe it. There's an amazing doll store in Alabama that I want to hit up because there are absurd deals there. Do we have to make a swing to Alabama too along this trip? This trip is getting out of hand. How many is going to be in this convoy? How many days we need and how many stops? Like my vote is already a doll meetup at the world's largest frying pan. Okay. I think there's also the world's largest rubber band ball or something, right? That's somewhere on some random highway. What else weird things can we stop at? Can we do a Waffle House meetup? I legit have never been to a Waffle House. I've never I've never been to a Waffle House before. Dar stores rarely exist anymore. That's true, Barbie Witch. And like the one that was here in Virginia just closed down, so we don't have that anymore. Collage is a sausage and a bread pocket. Ooh, that sounds good. I probably had it. I just didn't know it was called collage. Can also have fruit in it. That's weird though. Wouldn't that be hot and cold in the same sandwich? It's sort of on the way to Texas from the East Coast, you monster. Hey, come on now. This is a lot of detours we're taking now on this trip. Where's that random like road stop that they stopped in that movie Zombieland where they went to town breaking everything? I feel like there's a road stop that looks like that in like every state. Like I feel like I've seen it before on my way to South Carolina. But I could be wrong. There just could be multiple ones that look exactly like that. Gotta taste the North Carolina barbecue. Ooh, I've heard that's good. I mean, I've driven through North Carolina, but I've never actually stopped anywhere while I was there. I just kind of drove straight through. Have you been to a dirty room? You've been to a Waffle House? Come on now, is it that bad? I took Corey to a Waffle House as a date, early days for us. Hey, I can't hate on that. You know, wherever you gotta go, it's the people that count. It's not the place. You know, here, I'll give you an example. My wife, we've been married for, gosh, almost like 20 years now. But we've been together for almost 25 years now, like through college and everything. Not even kidding. Our very first date, I asked my wife on a date, and I was like, I'm sorry, I have no money. You mind going to McDonald's? We went to McDonald's for our first date and got dollar menu food because I was a broke college student that had zero money. And you know what? That's how I knew she was a keeper. She was like, let's do it. Let's go to McDonald's. No fancy flowers, no fancy restaurant, no movie. Like I didn't have even enough money for a movie. Like we just did dollar menu, which doesn't exist anymore at McDonald's, and 25 years going strong. So it's not the place, it's the people. Let's see. Oh my god, Barbie, I have heard horror stories about the Waffle Houses. You mean Graceland? Graceland was in Zombieland 2. I'm talking about the first Zombieland movie where like they stopped at a rest stop that had like I guess it was like I don't know what the proper term for it is, but it was like a Native American store. Like it kind of looked like Indian Reserve-ish, and they were just like randomly breaking things. Nothing against Native Americans. I think they were just in the movie relieving frustration and just breaking things just for the hell of it. But yeah, I feel like I've stopped by like a Native American rest stop like several times in different places, like going up north towards Maine, going down south towards South Carolina. I feel like I've stopped at one, so it might be a thing. Like maybe it's a chain or something like that. Kind of like how Don Quixote's is a chain. Magical Girl says it's like the Walmart entertainment of the food world. Okay, so now you guys are scaring me. Maybe I shouldn't go to a Waffle House. I always see it on the highways when I drive down south, though. It's like, I'm kind of wondering. Mason-Dixon line is divided by IHOP and Waffle House. Oh my! But IHOP is good. So if IHOP and Waffle House are identical, I feel like then Waffle House by extension should be good, right? Because I think IHOP is good. A bit pricey for what it is, but I think it's good. Gotta go Sam Jones Barbecue. There's some game developer that wanted to add a Waffle House level to some game. Your first date with your ex-husband was at a dive bar? Dive bars are cool, though. Ben and Kat's romance story begins with Corona and Taco Bell. Hey, I love that. Like, I love Taco Bell, but how'd you get the Corona and the Taco Bell, man? They don't allow you unless you took it to go. I'm assuming you guys took it to go. Best time to go is at night when the fighting begins. Wait, we don't want to fight. Now you have to go to Waffle House. It's a mandatory life experience, whether the police is there or not. Okay, so speaking of Waffle House, okay, I think it's the Waffle House. Correct me if I'm wrong, people, but I heard a rumor that the what is the name of that place? The Storm Center Authority, whatever you call them, the regulatory division, based their predictions on whether or not a Category 5 hurricane or whatever is actually going to happen is based upon if the Waffle House is open or closed. Is this real? Because I've heard it. I've seen it on Google. Like if you Google it, like it's a real thing where apparently if the Waffle House is open, then the storm's not that bad. And if the Waffle House is closed, then you better run and hide because it's a bad storm. This is what I've heard. I don't know if it's real or not. Oh my goodness. Whether the police are there or not. There may be good Waffle Houses out there, but the ones I've been to were were bad. Really? Oh no, I'm getting scared. There are fancy Taco Bells with booze here in Boston. Really? Dude, a Taco Bell with booze? I mean, come on. Dude. Oh no, what happened to my... Oh no, I can't scroll. Shoot. Oh, my mouse died. I can't scroll through your comments. What happened to my mouse? I think it's... Oh no. I got a new mouse. Like I got this thing here, and it's wireless. I think it just ran out of battery, but why would it be blinking? Oh, it's blinking red. Oh, it's out of charge. Crap. I can't cycle through your comments. Hold on. See, the bad thing about these wireless mice is that if they run out of battery and you don't recognize that, then and it doesn't have batteries, so I can't like pop out old batteries and put new ones. I literally have to plug it in. Okay, hold on. I got it plugged in. Okay, here we go. Can I... Where's my mouse now? Oh, there it is. Okay, now I can scroll through comments. Yay. Okay, Husby went to the Waffle House in Delaware once. Yeah, there's one there. I always drive by that one. Right off of 95. Waffle House is more akin to a Denny's at 3 a.m. Off Interstate. Okay, so a thing about Denny's here. Denny's in New Jersey are hard. They are hard and scary, and the food is gross. But I went to a Denny's in Florida, right next to Disney World in Orlando, and that Denny's was the bomb. They had like live music, and they had like balloon animal makers there for the kids. Like I've never seen a Denny's like that. That was a crazy Denny's. Let's see. This guy says the Waffle House Index, FEMA. Yeah, the Waffle House FEMA Index. That's the name. FEMA. Google that. Like they FEMA bases their indicators whether or not Waffle House is open or closed. Magical Girl says we broke it. No. I got the mouse working now. Let's see. They're called Taco Bell Cantina, and they sell booze and are open late. Wow, that sounds awesome. I need to go to that Taco Bell. I love Taco Bell. Apparently, the director of Tekken got word that Americans want to have a Waffle House level to fight in. That would be funny. I was in college and not old enough to drink, so Taco Bell to go. Oh, yeah. I know those kind of nights. College was a special time. Denny's in Japan is like 5-star dining. Really? That's crazy. That is crazy. I have heard that like places that usually aren't good in the States, like either Denny's or like Sizzlers, but I don't think they're Sizzlers anymore, are actually awesome in Japan. So I haven't had the opportunity to try one. Next time I go to Japan, I definitely will. I always wanted to try what's the ones that you always see in anime? Like family, was it the family restaurant? I know it's probably not called that, but I think they have something equivalent to that in Japan. I definitely need to try it next time I go out there. Oh my God, people, I've been talking about random things for 40 minutes now. We haven't even done the news for this week. How crazy is that? This is how much I enjoy talking to you guys. I know the Canon Doll Run or Doll Voy really took up a large portion of of the beginning talks, and now we're just on random tangents. See, this is why I feel like I'm the tangent king. We cannot stop talking about random things. Oh my gosh. KFC, McDonald's are all amazing. Yeah. I really wanted to try like fast food in Japan when I was there, but I feel really bad because it's like I didn't travel thousands of miles away just to eat something I can get at home. So I was like, I'm not gonna do fast food. I did all. I want to say authentic, but me being a foreigner, I guess I couldn't tell what is authentic and not authentic Japanese. But I went to I tried to go to all the places in Japan that I could where they didn't have very easy access to English. Because I feel like that would be the most authentic I could get. Because I feel like if you go to a place in Japan that has English menus and English speaking staff, then it's really a touristy spot, right? Like, because they're catering to foreigners. But if you try to go to those places that don't speak English and don't have English menus, I feel like that's where I'm gonna get the authentic experience. Problem is not all places that are like that accept foreigners. And I know that sounds racist, and it's not racist. It's actually just they feel bad because they can't speak your language, and it's like, and because they don't want to feel like they can't provide a service, they're just like, oh, no foreigners allowed or something like that. Or at least that's what I've heard and what I want to believe. I don't know. I mean, obviously there may be some individuals over there that may not like foreigners at all, because guess what? The world's not perfect. There's nice people and bad people everywhere in the world. So but you do see those signs. Like last time I was in Japan, there are signs that say no foreigners. But I would like to think that it's more so that because nobody speaks English and won't be able to help you, they kind of just don't want to have to deal with the hassle of trying to accommodate, I guess. But I can't speak for a culture, really. I just can say what my experiences were. Anyways, 45 minutes now, we're talking about random stuff. It's so cute you thought this was the Doll Symposium. I mean, I try, Corey. But yeah, we're gonna try and do the news today, which we're gonna get through relatively quickly today, as there's not really much to talk about. Dun dun dun! Surprise, surprise! I actually don't know why there's not much to talk about this week, but there really isn't too much. But the little bit that we have is kind of important. So let's boot it up. Let's get this booted up here. Hold on. We're going to do the news. And as always, everybody, we're going to cover Dolphy Dream news first. So for those of you that are new to my channel, I always do Dolphy Dream news first, then I do Azone news, and then I do Smart Doll news. The reason being is not because I like Dolphy Dream better, it's not because I like Azone better, and it's not because I like Smart Doll the least. Initially, it was Dolphy Dream and Smart Doll only, and I started with Dolphy Dream because that was my very first doll company that got me into the hobby, and then Smart Doll existed, so it kind of went one, then two. And then when I was doing Azone news, I was like, I'm just going to put it right in the middle, and I figured I'm just going to leave the best for last, so we'll put Smart Doll last. I'm just kidding. It just happened that way. It just really happened that way. It's not in any order of which I like worst or best. So we're going to do Dolphy Dream news. Let's see. So as a reminder for everybody, because I know everybody knows already, but I'm going to say it anyways. Doll Party 51 is going to be in 2 weeks, people, or actually a week and a half, April 21st in Tokyo. For those of you that are there, I think PMB Soccer is probably leaving before this event is happening, so unfortunately I don't think he'll be able to make it to it. But if any of you are going to Japan during that time frame, go to Doll Party. It's going to be an amazing experience. So in Doll Party, we're going to have a couple things released. We already talked about it before. We do have Aqua, for Dolphy Dream Aqua being released, and we also have some special outfit collections that are being released, as well as a Sakura Miku outfit. The new Sakura Miku outfit, not a doll, the outfit is going to be released at this event. If you want more details on it, you can go to prior episodes of the Doll Symposium, but as I've already mentioned what they were for the past 3 episodes, I'm just briefly glancing over it right now. There is no new major news in regards to Doll Party 51, but there is mostly no news in general from Dolphy Dream right now because staff or folks themselves is preparing for Doll Party 51. So this is typical. Every year this happens, or every event this happens. When Doll Party's coming the month of, we usually don't get much news coming in because they're getting ready for the big event. So yeah, that's pretty much everything. You have a new doll, you have new doll outfit, and some new outfit collection stuff, which has a lot of really cool things. So definitely check out prior episodes if you missed what was being released, because there's a lot of cool stuff for this event. But there is something that I did want to cover. Where is it? Okay. So, the new Hatsune Miku. Where's Batman Jackson? Are you here in the stream or are you busy at a convention? So, the new Hatsune Miku NT was already released last December. Why are we talking about it then? Because apparently there's a problem with it. So, Volks has already acknowledged that there's a problem with the new Miku and it has to do with her skirt. So, the doll is fine. Nothing is wrong with the doll. It's the skirt. So, I don't know exactly what it is, but Volks has already issued an apology that all individuals that did buy Hatsune Miku NT, there is some issue with the skirt, and they are doing something this weekend in Japan in all the stores where you can bring the skirt to the store and they will exchange it for a new one and a fixed one, whatever the issue is, because it doesn't say actually on the website what the issue with the skirt was. Now, if you're an international buyer, aka you don't live in Japan, there is a email form on their website under the Hatsune Miku NT special page. Go in there, fill out the email, and then like there's instructions for you to mail them the original skirt that's defective, and then they'll mail you a skirt back, if I'm not mistaken. Then there's some instructions here, basically just stating what I said, and then they're telling you that when you send them to skirt, remember to take the chain off. So they have instructions on how to remove the chain, because there's absolutely nothing wrong with the chain. It's just the skirt itself. So they're telling you before you send in the skirt to be replaced for the new one, make sure you remove the chain, and there's instructions here on how to remove the chain on that. I think here it is. This is the actual like email address, and this is what they're asking for. Please specify the following. Subject, DD Hatsune Miku NT skirt. Put your name, your phone number, your address, and attach an image of the receipt. So they're going to need all that stuff in order for you to send them an email for that. So that's really all I got for this week on Dolphy Dream News. Again, it's like not so much because they're preparing for Doll Party 51. Let me see. Wait, what's going on? You guys are talking a lot in chat. Let's see. Barbie Witch says, I would want to eat the hell out of curry rice and try pineapple ramen and tomato ramen specifically as gimmicky foods. I did have curry rice when I was in Japan. Absolutely delicious. I went to Ichiran, which I know people are like, it's chain store. You can get that in America too. I didn't know that at the time. Like when I was in Japan, I didn't know there was Ichiran in the United States. So I was just like, oh, cool, authentic Japanese curry. So when I go back, I need to go try real authentic Japanese curry somewhere from a real restaurant. Let's see. Tempest says, but first you do Doll Convoy news. Yeah, we did do the Doll Convoy news. That's basically what happened. Kat says, we will be in Japan in October. I will absolutely experience McDonald's and KFC. Oh, you're going in October? Yay! Have fun, Kat. I hope you enjoy it. Definitely. I mean, obviously, you're probably going to meet Danny when you're there. Send him in that email so you can make that appointment to go visit the store. You guys are going to love Japan. I wish I can go when you guys go and we can hang out, but like, money is a thing. If I win the lottery, though, I'm definitely going with you. I promise. Christina Kowal says, biggest high. Hope everyone is having a wonderful night. So far, so good, Christina. We spent 45 minutes talking about random stuff before we even got to the news. Today was a crazy day for news. Tempest is like, which week of October, by the way? We think the middle to the end. The middle to the end is great. When I went to Japan, it was actually October. What was it? I left, I think, the 10th, and I came back the 20th or the 21st. And aside from the typhoon, that was like 2 days of a typhoon. Aside from that, the weather was beautiful over there. It was beautiful. October is a great time because it's not too hot. It's not too cold. You can wear a jacket or not wear a jacket, and you'll still be fine. It was great weather. But it is typhoon season, and I guess I was lucky that there was only one typhoon while I was there. But other than that, it was great, and it was sunny skies other than those 2 days every single day. It was an amazing trip. I really enjoyed it. I hope you guys have so much fun. Let's see. It would be crazy if we got to see you there. I would poop, which is the highest compliment you could receive by me. Okay, all right, I'll take your word for it. I'm sinking. Hold on. Ugh. Okay, Barbie Witch says Ichiran isn't here in Sadness City. New York City has an Ichiran, I know for sure. And then I think there's an Ichiran in Cali somewhere. More likely LA. More than likely. It's more likely in Japantown in LA, which I probably saw it when I was there and I just didn't realize it. Let's see. Tempest says we are the second and third weeks. Oh yeah, that's right. You guys are going too. You two should meet up over there and hang out for reals. You guys would get along very well. Barbie says we only got go-go curry here. Yeah, we got a go-go curry here as well. Cymax says yes. October is great time in Japan. Yeah. October was amazing. I enjoyed my time in Japan in October. I kind of don't want to go any other time now because it was just so nice. Go-go curry. Nowhere here in PA. Yeah, I think go-go curry is. I've only seen it in New York City, and there's probably a branch out in California, probably. Okay, so yeah, that's everything for Dolphy Dream News. Trying to get back on topic again. It's very hard on this show. Okay, so that's everything for Dolphy Dream News. So we're moving to Azone News. So Azone News has something very interesting this time around. Well, at least very interesting to me. We have a brand new Pure Nemo, which is the 1/6 series, and it is the Idol Master of Miki Hoshi. So why is this important? Okay, several reasons. Miki Hoshi, an amazing character on Idolmaster. If you don't watch Idolmaster, she's super cool. I really like her. I like her design. She's awesome. But what's really interesting about her is that she just has this real long history, I guess you could say, in the doll hobby, because the Miki Hoshi version of Dolphy Dream was probably one of the most highly sought after dolls and really expensive dolls to get on the secondhand market, because she was the first of her kind to have the head sculpt that she has. For several years in the doll hobby. She was very highly sought after until they made which one was that they made? I think it was the Dolphy Dream Head 18. I want to say, where it kind of mimicked her head sculpt, and then all of a sudden her value dropped because now you could get it a little bit more easily. But she was very popular for the longest time. And why is she very interesting for Azone News? Well, because she is a Pure Nemo. So she's the 1/6 scale, roughly just below 10 inches, kind of like 9 inches tall. But she has eye chips, people. She has the eye chips. So if we go and look at a closer picture, you can see here, no longer do we have the painted on eyes. She comes on the newer Pure Nemo body, which is the, what's it called again? I think it's called the Flexion one, or Pure Nemo 2 Emotion body. That's what it was. So she actually has the eye chip. So if you want to switch out her eyes, they are 10mm eyes. So if you wanted to change her eye color, but also she's just very cute. And there's two versions of her. So you do have the very awesome looking stage outfit. So here we go. I'm trying to zoom out so you guys can see it. So this is the stage outfit that she comes in. And then there is a casual clothes outfit version. Now, it is important to note that the casual clothes outfit is an Azone store exclusive. So this one, the stage outfit, is the regular outfit that you can get probably pre-ordering anywhere. But the Azone store direct casual clothes outfit, you can only get in the stores, or you can get them online, I believe. But there is some kind of way, I think you have to be a Japanese resident, so you do have to hire a proxy to get it for you. I know last time when I got a store direct version, I had to hire a proxy to get it for me. But unless times have changed, I would say if you really want the store direct version because you like the casual outfit, because, I mean, come on, let's be real now. It is awesome looking. You may be able to get it from the usual suspects that carry Azone stuff. So try Ami Ami, try HLJ Japan, try 1999.co. Also try Fabric and Friends here in Virginia. See, because all those places do carry Azone items, and they might have the store direct versions because they are licensed carriers. So if you do like it, I would say go check it out. And just for funsies, they actually did a YouTube video for this girl. It was released. So let's watch the YouTube video. Now there's no sound, so you're not missing out on sound, but let's see. Can I make this bigger? Yeah, here we go. So they have a commercial for her that they filmed. And I guess I'll talk during the commercial since there's no sound anyways. But yeah, that's her. She looks gorgeous. Look at that. And oh, also to note, she comes with a stand. So the doll stand actually comes with this doll, which is really funny because they never come with doll stands. But this particular girl, Miki Hoshi, comes with the doll stand. So very gorgeous. I love this like cinematography. The pictures are so good. I don't own any Pure Nemos anymore because I really like the larger dolls, but I actually might have to get this one because she is so gorgeous. She's absolutely gorgeous. And I love the way her eyes really pop. Like that green really pops. And that's an effect that you can't get with the painted on eyes. You can only get it with the eye chips. So, you know, I'm really excited for this girl. Now, it does say here that her reservation time starts Monday, April 15th and lasts until May 14th. Now, it doesn't specify, though, whether or not this is a limited pre-order, meaning that you can reserve her or pre-order her as long as they have enough stock, or if this is an unlimited pre-order, meaning that during that time frame, you can order as many as you want and they will fulfill it. Usually, Azone doesn't do that for the most part. Usually it's basically first come first serve until they run out of stock. That's normally how they do it. Although there are times where they just make it an open reserve where you can just reserve it, and as long as you reserve it, you're guaranteed to get it through, you know, start time and end time. But that is more rare. I don't usually see that often. But I mean, either way, whichever girl that you want, whether you get, you know, stage outfit version or you get the casual version, it's still the same doll. You know, even the hair is the same. It's not like it's got special hair for either outfit. So it doesn't matter which one you get unless you're really, really set on the outfit, because Pure Nemo, out of all the Azones that they have, is the largest of their dolls, like the largest selection, and as well as the largest selection of clothing. So if you just want her, like the doll itself, just get either version and then just buy whatever clothes that you want for her, because Pure Nemo has a wide selection of clothes. So you're not going to be left wanting, or at least for the most part, you're not, because there's so much to choose from. Let's see. Barbie Witch says Korean dolls and travel. It tracks. It kind of does. Kamife says dog ate my Pure Nemo girl. I only have a torso, head, and arm left. Oh my gosh, that is traumatizing. Cymex says so cute. Barbie Witch says she's cute, but it pisses me off that they never finished the Love Live Sunshine Pure Nemo set. Yeah, I mean, maybe at some point they will, but you know, you never know. You never know. I love the casual clothes outfit, says Kamife. Yeah, the casual clothes outfit is gorgeous. Like, this outfit is amazing. Like, look at this girl. So cute. Look at that face, man. She is gorgeous. She's so gorgeous. And like, you know, Pure Nemo dolls have always been really cool looking, but this is the first Pure Nemo doll that I'm just kind of like, that is gorgeous. Like, they knocked her out of the park. You know, like I said, there's so many Pure Nemos available. It's just, this one has just really hit a soft spot for me. I enjoy the character too in the show, but like, they just did a really good job with her makeup, with her eye color. Like, her eyes are green, but like just the way it pops, like the very nice shine to it. I really enjoy this one a lot. Let's see. Barbie Witch says Love Live is greater than Idolmaster. You know, I feel like if it's Love Live, then yes, it's greater than Idolmaster. But if it's Love Live versus Idolmaster Cinderella Girls, then no, because Cinderella Girls is much better by far. The Cinderella Girls saga of Idolmaster is much better than any other girls like band kind of thing. And there's so many of them because there's Love Live, right? Then there's Love Live Sunshine. There's Idolmaster. Then there's Idolmaster Cinderella Girls. There's even Idolmaster M, which is an all-boy Idolmaster group. So there's a lot of these whole group thingies, but I think Cinderella Girls is by far my favorite. Yeah, Casual Miki is hella cute. She definitely is. Kat says that she's really pretty. She is. She's really pretty. Barbie Witch says objective facts, Love Live is better. What's her name? From Love Live, there is one character I really, really like, but I haven't watched Love Live in so long that the name escapes me. It's the red hair girl. I really, really liked her from the original Love Live cast. What was her name again? I think Mariko or Maki or something like that. I think it's Maki. I think her name is Maki, and then this one's Miki. So there's a lot of like very closenesses of names, but the two characters look completely different. But yeah, that's pretty much everything from Azone. We already talked about the new Iris, the Happiness Clover girl that's coming out with eye chips also. So I think Azone is slowly moving over to making all their dolls have eye chips and getting rid of the whole painted eyes thing. Here's knocking on wood that we get a new Maureen with an actual eye chips this time around. Hopefully. But we won't know. So moving on. We're going to get into some smart doll news, people, because that's all I had for Dolphy Dream and Azone. So let's go into the smart doll stuff, shall we? Now, this is what we got going on. Let's start from the beginning. Obviously, April Fools. Danny went hard this year. So we do have the mermaid. We have the pear doll mermaid that Danny Chu has posted these pictures on. So whether or not this is going to be a real thing, like he's going to do a mermaid thing, I don't know, but definitely an April Fool's things. And remember, for those of you that are not familiar, sometimes the April Fool's things become real things. So we have to keep an eye out. I think we're more than likely to get a mermaid doll, maybe more so than the other stuff. So, we have this here, which is possible. We have horns and a tail and chicken feet. So that was an interesting combination. These horns look badass though. Like, look at these horns. That is 100% tiefling type horns right there. If you don't know what I'm talking about, it's a D&D reference. Like, she looks like a tiefling, except for the feet. The feet are not tiefling feet. Like, this is definitely rooster chicken feet, which is hilarious. But yeah, this girl looks pretty dope with those horns, man. Those horns are awesome. Fun fact, check out my friend's Kitten Cat shop because they do sell horns. If you are interested. But these are definitely tiefling looking horns. I don't know if Danny Chu got that from D&D, but they look awesome. And then another thing was the statue of David. So David apparently with the muscular body. Look at this. Look at this muscular body. It's not as big though as the supposed rock body or Arnold Schwarzenegger body that he teased us before. But this is pretty good. This is super muscular. Look at that. This is like almost very close. We're not there yet, but we're close to getting like Baki level like dolls. If you've never seen it before, just Google Baki, Baki anime, and you can see the characters on how big they are because they are ridiculously big. If you want to go old school, think Fist of the North Star, like the main character on that one. Not even characters from JoJo are that big. But yeah, this David thing, another April Fool's joke, but that might be a reality as we did see some, pictures of the Muscle Man, 3D prints, which kind of looks like this one. So here's hoping that becomes a real thing, but we don't know yet. And then also there's the Mecha Mirai suit. This was in collaboration with a very famous artist that did Mobile Suit Gundam and Votoms, his name is Okiwara Sensei. So, I mean, this looks really dope. I like this a lot, but this is definitely an April Fool's thing. There's no way Danny's selling this. I mean, this thing is going to be huge. Like, it's monstrous. It's really monstrous. But that is awesome though if that actually gets made. Like look at these mock-ups. Like these are all pictures that came out years ago. But he's like revitalizing it now. I don't know why, but I guess he was either running out of April Fool's stuff or we're all in for a really nice treat and he's really going to make it. I don't know. Oh boy, but that's pretty much everything for April's Fools. Like that's all his April Fool's stuff that he gave us was like, this statue of David, Mecha Mirai, the Smart Doll Land Beasts, and the Smart Doll Mermaid. I think out of all four of these, either Muscle Man or Mermaid is more likely to become a real thing. But I'm theory crafting. I don't know for sure. Maki's objective best next to Nozomi, who is true objective best girl. I think a lot of people really like Umi for some reason. I'm not a fan of Umi though. Matt says the only thing turning me away from getting Azone modding is the painted eyes. I know, that's the same for me. I did not get modding because I was disappointed with the painted eyes. They need to do a version 2 that has eye chips. Let's see. Barbie Witch says Birth of Venus by Bocelli. Oh, that's the pear girl. Okay. So at first I was a little confused by that. Christina says yes, he got me real good with April Fool's Danny with the gray male doll. Oh my goodness. It might be a thing though, Christina, because he did post pictures of the muscular male body before April Fool's, so it might happen. Maybe. Who knows? Jay Louisa says sorry, I don't like the Baki character designs. I mean, I don't like it either. It's a little over too exaggerated. It's just funny. I just think the designs of the characters is so over the top, like big, that it's just funny to me. But I do want, like, I legitimately do want like a muscular male doll. Like that's something that I definitely want. Like something like The Rock or Arnold Schwarzenegger style, like muscular male. I know I've said this in previous episodes, but that's something I'm definitely looking forward to. And we're going to do a whole video actually about it at the next Beyond the Doll. Spoiler alert, we're going to talk about like things like that on, what kind of dolls you want to see and like the reasons why you want to see them. I don't want to give away spoilers on what it's actually going to be. Because I don't know if it's going to be next Friday or 2 Fridays from now, because I'm still trying to prep that episode, but it's going to be a fun one. Matt says, about to make custom JoJo dolls with this one. Who are you gonna make first though? You gonna make Dio? Because I think I would make Dio if I were to make a JoJo doll. I haven't watched all of JoJo's yet, only first and second season. So basically I haven't gotten to the good stuff yet, but I really was adamant about having to start from the beginning, and boy am I suffering for it, because season 1 did not age well. It's like really, really horrid. But I do like how in JoJo everybody has like a rock band name for some reason. Like I like REO Speedwagon. Like come on now. Kitten Catchup says tail is Dragonborn, feet is Arakocra. See, I only know Baldur's Gate 3 races, and I don't think we have Arakocra in Baldur's Gate 3. We definitely have Dragonborn though, so that's something we definitely do have. Is it Dragonborn for some? Oh, the tail is Dragonborn. Okay, yeah, maybe. I don't have a Dragonborn character. I made a tiefling, so that's why I kind of thought it was like tiefling looking horns. Barbasit says someone would absolutely buy the mech suit for any price he charges. I'm sure there's people out there that would, because that mech suit is amazing, and plus it was made by an amazing designer. So there's definitely a market for it for sure. Matt would say my boy Jonathan Joestar. Oh my goodness, why not? Jonathan Joestar's good. There's nothing wrong with Jonathan Joestar. I mean, I think I would probably do Dio. I know he's the bad guy, but he's kind of cool. I might do REO Speedwagon if I were to make one. We can do an REO Speedwagon doll. Let's see. No way make grandpa. Jay Lee says would totally make a Vegeta or Trunks doll with the muscles doll. You know, Trunks I could see, but Vegeta's too short. Like if the muscular male doll is average, you know, like smart doll size, that's too tall for Vegeta. Barbie Witch says Joseph Joestar all the way. Jay Lisa says the music names in JoJo is intentional. That's the joke. I love it. I just think it's funny. Like because I wasn't going into JoJo's, I didn't know about the whole like musical like background theme to it with like the naming and stuff. So when I was watching it for the first time, I was like, REO Speedwagon, isn't that a band? I'm pretty sure that's a band. And it wasn't until later when I Googled it that like there's a lot of rock and roll like bands in JoJo's. So yeah, if you haven't watched JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, don't be a dummy like me and watch it from season one. Because if you watch it from season one, I feel like it's such a turnoff because it did not age well. I heard that it gets good at season 3 or 4, something like that is when it starts to get really good. So I'm in like the middle of season 2, so I'm still trying to muscle my way through the old stuff to get to the good stuff. I heard, what is it, like season 5 gets real edgy though. Like it gets like runway, you know, runway model, like experimental, like kind of edgy. But who knows? Who knows? Let's see. Okay, moving on. So this one is cool. So remember this doll? She had codename Moon. Well, she is released, and she's actually still available on the Smart Doll store right now if you want her. Danny Chu and team made a whole bunch of Moon, or Cheese rather. Made a whole bunch of them in preparation that it would sell out in an instant. Turns out it didn't sell out. She didn't sell out in an instant. I don't know how many extras they really made to prepare for this, but damn, that's a lot of extras then, if that's the case. For those of you that are not in the know, she's basically the new Chitose. So we had OG Chitose, then we had Chitose, what's it called? Semi-real, which is, you know, Chitose Multiverse. Then we had Chitose Realityverse, and then we have Moon or Cheese. I don't know. In the description, he says her name is her code name was her sculpt was Cheese, and her code name was Moon. But I don't know what she's actually called. I think she's actually called Moon on the Smart Doll store though. But she's gorgeous. She comes in this different skin tone colors, of course, of cinnamon, which for some odd reason, cinnamon really looks like milk in this picture. It's probably the lighting. So cocoa and tea. I'm a big sucker for tea nowadays. I'm really a big sucker for tea. So if I were to get her, I would definitely get her in tea. She's very cute. And then we have this lovely lady here, which is Divergence in Coco. So she was released fairly recently. I think it was like last week she came out and sold out very quickly. But she looks really good. Well, Divergence has looked good in pretty much every skin tone color she's been in so far. So no reason why she shouldn't look good in Coco. And by far, she knocks it out of the park. This is one beauty of a doll. Then Danny Chu has posted the new skin tone color. Woohoo! So we have Coco on the right, and the new skin tone color over here is Coffee. So Coffee is the one that's in between, obviously, the tea and cocoa. I think he posted a picture, here we go, of all of them. So you have cinnamon on the left, you have tea here, you have coffee, and then cocoa. So all the different colors are represented in this one picture, or at least all the different colors that are offered from Smart Doll. Let me put it that way. Now, there was, as always, for some reason, Smart Doll community cannot get away from drama. So apparently there's a bit of a drama that happened with the release of Coffee, although this time around it wasn't super huge. Like, people were a little bit more respective, I guess, about it. But basically the way it goes is some individuals are complaining that Danny Chu is basically advertising that his brand is really big into diversity and inclusivity, right? And that's why we have the different skin tone colors. But people are getting mad that he's only producing skin tone colors that are going from cinnamon to darker variations, as in cinnamon, tea, then coffee, then cocoa. So going, from a lighter, I guess you can say, complexion to different gradations or different variations getting to a darker complexion. And some people online are, in a very tactful way, I'd say now, instead of people back in the old days yelling at each other and saying you're racist or this is not like, now people are being a little bit more respectful and making very nicely made comments saying, hey, just asking a question. I know you're about inclusivity and diversity, but then why are we not getting different variations of skin tone colors going lighter? So for example, we have cinnamon, which is a lighter complexion skin tone, and then it just gets darker from there, from tea to coffee to cocoa. So people are saying, why can't it also go in the other way, going from cinnamon to a lighter version of cinnamon, like what we had as milk at the time, and then maybe even going further than that for an even more whiter color, which I guess if they were to go from cinnamon to lighter would be milk, and then from milk to something even lighter, I guess we can call it skim milk or something like that, but that would probably be an equivalent to what Volks calls like semi-white or white skin tone color. Obviously, Danny Chu wouldn't call it that because he likes to use like beverages for his skin tone. So we would probably, if hypothetically we were to get like a mountain of colors, let's go from one extreme to the other, right? And let's go from the known. So these are the known ones, right? So if we go from the darkest skin tone color, we go cocoa, coffee, tea, cinnamon, and then here we go going experimental. If we went even lighter, we would have cinnamon, then going back to milk and revitalizing that. Then maybe something lighter like skim milk, maybe. Maybe skim milk, or maybe like white chocolate, or I don't know, marshmallow, or something. I don't know. He'll make up some kind of crazy term. But at this point in time, Danny has said that, thank you for all the comments. It really helps our understanding of what the community wants, and I think he genuinely means that. But he did say that, logistically right now, because they are a team of, 17 people, 18 if you include Danny, you know, being able to keep in stock like all the different skin tone colors would be way too much of a logistical nightmare. So it's already bad enough with 3 skin tone colors for cinnamon, tea, and cocoa. Now we're adding like a 4th color of getting coffee. So that means that, they got to make a lot of different variations. And when they make these variations, it's not as easy. Okay, what's the best way I can say this? Have you ever been to a fast food restaurant where they have the new soda machine with a digital touchscreen and you can just change all the different sodas you want and it'll just all come out the same spout? Yeah, that's not how it works with vinyl. So like if they commit to cinnamon and making a batch of cinnamon, they're committing for like a lot of them. Like, cause you can't just make like one doll. Like you have to make a batch. Like there's a batch of vinyl. And you got to use up all the resources because you don't want to waste any. So they got to make a big batch of cinnamon. And then if they got to make more tea, they got to make a big batch of tea and coffee and cocoa, et cetera, et cetera. And that will create a lot of body parts and a lot of dolls. And we all know that Danny Chu and his team sells a lot of dolls because we always see the sold out signs. But really, they don't make a lot. We just think they make a lot. But they're a very small team working their best to get as many dolls out as they can. And being able to do 4 skin tone colors is definitely going to take a toll on the team trying to make that work. So would it be nice if we had lighter skin tone colors going from cinnamon and lighter? Sure, that would be amazing. But logistically, is it possible? Right now, probably not. Maybe in the future, if Danny does decide to revitalize milk and maybe go even lighter if he so chose to, then we would see a tremendous drop off from cocoa and coffee or tea to make way for those lighter skin tone colors to come in and like kind of have a little bit of a presence and then maybe flip flop back and forth. But it's not so as easy as to like, oh, let me make one tea doll right now and then I'm going to make one milk doll. No, they have to make them in large batches. So it is a bit of a nightmare trying to logistically like put all those things together. So I do understand it from that point, but I can also see it from a lot of customers, opinions saying that like we would like to see other variations. And there have been some reasonable, like discussions on Instagram or on Facebook in regards to, whether or not we can have different color representation. So, again, we've had cinnamon going into darker skin tones, complexions, but a lot of people are arguing if we can go cinnamon and then the other way for lighter skin tone representations. So I think if you want to run a company that wants to have like representation, of all different kind of diversities, then I understand the argument of having, you know the whole spectrum, like from cocoa all the way to milk or even lighter, because then that would give a wide variety or wide diversity. But from a business owner standpoint, like if you're a small team of 17, I mean, realistically, being able to do like, let's say 8 skin tone colors and keep them in stock, that's a bit of a nightmare. And not many companies, not even Volks does that. Like Volks only has two. So, being able to keep up with two is fairly easy. Danny's already doing 3 and now he's adding a fourth. But I mean, I think there's legitimate concerns from either side. Now, we have seen responses from Danny basically saying that like, oh, he's going to keep the lineup right now as is because there are other representations of cinnamon and lighter skin tones from other doll brands, and if you really want the lighter skin tone, you can shop those other doll brands to get those. But he wants to push out dolls or products that are not as represented, whereas cinnamon skin tone color and lighter is widely represented from many different doll companies. But from cinnamon down to cocoa, those gradation of colors has a very less representation within the doll hobby, and I think that's what he's going for. But I definitely understand the argument of other people where they're saying, if you're going to have inclusivity and diversity, then you got to have it all. But realistically, with a team of 18, you can't have all the colors of the rainbow. It's just not doable for such a small team. And then other people are saying, well, why not make a bigger team, hire more people? That's not what he wants, though. Like, he is a business owner and he is free to run his business the way he wants to. And if his business succeeds based upon his business practice, even better for him. If his business doesn't succeed and it crashes because of his business practice, then he has nobody to blame but himself because he wants to do it a certain way. And if, the rest of the world doesn't agree with it, then eventually he's just going to lose money and he'll either have to close down or whatever. So, but I think it definitely, as a small business owner, which I am not, but if I were to assume, you should be able to run your company however which way you want. I mean, that's why you start a business in the first place. Most of us, okay, how should I say this? The majority of people in the world usually work for somebody or for some entity. Not many of us, like a small population of the world community, actually just works for themselves because it's hard. You're the one in charge. You're the one that has to do all the planning, all the logistics, all the money to back up everything. It's very difficult, as some of you in chat will know, aka Kitten Cat Shop and aka Magical Girl Kit Kat and Ben. You guys know how difficult it is to run your own business. So, I've never run my own business, so I can only speculate. But my assumption is that for my entire working career, I've always worked for somebody, and they've always told me what to do because it's not my business. I don't run things, so I have to do what my bosses tell me. I can't make up my own decisions and do things my way because it's not my business. And I think most people that go into small businesses, they want to be the boss. They want to run their life the way they want it. They want to run their business the way they feel. And I feel the same way for Smart Doll and Danny Chu. If he wants to do only these skin tone colors, let him. Like, it's his business. He could do what he wants. And if it fails, then he's got nobody to blame but himself at that point. But, it's, I know I get on my soapbox sometimes and I talk really long about these things, but I just feel like, especially as a small business owner, my assumption is that you're really doing it because of a lot of different reasons. And one of the reasons is you get to be your own boss and do things your way, the way you want to do it. And as long as it's not breaking any kind of Geneva Convention laws, then I say do it, whatever you want to do. So, just let him cook. Let Danny do what Danny does best. And if you like it, then buy it. If you don't like it, then don't buy it. That's really the moral of the story here. Now I know a lot of you are popping off. You guys are probably yelling at me right now, and I didn't read any of the comments. So we're gonna go back. Let's see. Where did we leave off? I think you guys are cracking me up in chat. Which is your favorite two girl? Is the cocoa or tea cheese? I like the tea cheese girl. So the tea moon or tea cheese. That's my favorite. Barbie says agree with Matt, good sir. I suggest a rewatch. What did Matt say? TF, you mean parts 1 and 2 are underrated as hell. Wait, TF. What do you mean TF? Because I'm reading so far behind. You're not talking about JoJo's, right? Because TF is like Transformers, I'm assuming. Sorry, I missed some of these messages. King Cat Chop says she looks like multiverse to me. She does. She just looks like an upgraded multiverse. I think the makeup is what changed, and the eye shape a little bit. You take your cheese tea flavored? Yes, I do. It's still the wrong thought put forth in polite rapping. Yeah, I mean, I guess, but at least people are a little bit more courteous rather than just being really like rude and violent the way it was like a couple years ago. So I'm very happy that people are at least trying to express their feelings in a more polite way rather than just saying you suck or this is horrible or you're a racist or something like that. Like I think people are starting to consider what they say a little bit more and trying to be polite in it, but it is I don't disagree with you. Do the clear vinyl and call it water. I mean, he does have clear vinyl. He has sold clear vinyl dolls, so I mean, it's not like he hasn't. King Cat Shop says cinnamon was because milk yellowed. The touch of pink was to help with that issue. I don't doubt that. I honestly don't know the real reason, but that sounds like a legitimate reason to do it. But I mean, cinnamon is a great color. I think it's a great skin tone color, but I do miss milk. But I sometimes I wonder, do I miss milk because of the nostalgia of it? Because all of my dolls are milk at one point, and I had a lot of milk dolls. Or is it really because I'm infatuated with the color? Honestly, I couldn't tell you. I mean, I like all the skin tone colors anyways. I mean, they're all great colors, so it doesn't really matter to me. But would it be nice to see something from cinnamon to lighter? Sure. Is it necessary? I don't know. I really don't know. Christina says white, cinnamon, and blonde hair is very light, is a rarity because Melody is the only girl that has some really white. So, well, Melody is pretty much the same skin tone color as all the girls back in the day. So Mirai, Melody, Chitose, even what was that name? Ivory. They were all the same milk skin tone color. I think what you're trying to say, if I'm reading, I probably read it wrong. I think what you're trying to say is that Melody was the only one that had the milk with the blonde hair. And that you would be correct in because she was the only one that had that. Jay Louisa says, so can I put my 2 cents in? You absolutely can, Jay Louisa. It's hard to get darker tones already in the resin side and probably hard on the vinyl side. Speaking as someone with the coffee skin, it's nice and doesn't feel forced. No, I think I definitely agree with you. It is nice because from cinnamon downwards, that's the wrong choice of words, but from cinnamon moving in color grades from, a lighter complexion to a darker complexion, from cinnamon, tea, coffee, and cocoa, all of those skin tone colors were heavily underrepresented within the doll community. Historically, the doll community has always been somewhat of like, I guess you can say, a variation of cinnamon and milk skin tone colors throughout all the doll brands. This includes things like Volks, Dolphy Dream, Azone, all their lines, and Smart Doll themselves. It was always, milk or some form of cinnamon. Dolphy Dream did do their own version of tan, but you can arguably say that tan is more like cinnamon, as their flesh that they're calling now, the skin tone color is more like milk. But Volks's, out of all the different, well, I shouldn't say out of all, but Volks versus Smart Doll is the only company between the two that have gone lighter, as they have semi-white skin tone color, and they have the, now expired white skin tone color, which they don't even do anymore. But yeah, they're the only ones between the two that have those lighter versions. Now, Azone has their own varied versions, but the naming system for Azone is a little weird, as they have because it's mostly like Google Translate that's really screwing me up, because Google Translate will say things like white to super white to brilliant white, and I really don't know the differences. I just know it's probably some variation of milk to white to semi-white. That I think it's somewhere along those lines. And historically, that has been majorly represented in those skin tone colors for many, many years, until, and the only representation in vinyl, at least for tea or tan, was Volks's tan version. And like I said, that's arguably like cinnamon, basically. That's essentially what it is. It's not as dark as tea from Smart Doll. Now, that being said, that's why Danny is doing what he's doing, is because tea and coffee and cocoa are not widely represented colors within the doll community. Those are colors that you just don't see. But now other companies are starting to come out with their own variations of it in vinyl. Resin has had different darker skin tone complexions for years. They've had it for quite some time. They just don't release them as often, but they have had darker skin tone colors as well as fantasy skin tone colors. But Volks was the only one out of all the major companies that started with a tan. I know Azone had their own variation of tan at some point, but there were only 3 dolls that were ever released, and they're very hard to find now in their version of tan. So, Danny being essentially the only game in town right now that is doing tea to coffee to cocoa variation of skin tone colors, I mean, that's why he's doing what he's doing. Because anything lighter than cinnamon is already heavily represented in a lot of different doll companies. Now, do Smart Doll owners just basically want a Smart Doll in those skin tone colors? Yes. I mean, you could always go to Dolphy Dream and get a lighter skin tone color and get semi-white, but what if you don't like the Dolphy Dream body and you like the body styling of Smart Doll? Unfortunately, at this point in time, you're just not going to get it in that skin tone color. He's just focusing on the darker ones. And that's his prerogative. And like I said, as a small business owner, if he wants to run his business that way, that's his choice to do. Now, that doesn't preclude him from maybe doing lighter skin tones in the future. He might dabble at that at some point. But only Danny knows. None of us know. Barbie Witch says, I got a pure white resin doll for an android character. What a mistake. The yellowing looked like jaundice. Adding pigment takes care of that. Yeah, I mean, I've seen some of Tempest's lighter skin tone dolls in resin before, and how it yellows. And it's very hard. It's going to be difficult to maintain and keep a lighter skin tone doll with their skin tone intact after several years, from just wear and tear or exposure to the sun. Those lighter skin tones tend to yellow a bit after some time. Kitten Cap Shop says, someone said dark toned resin dolls are harder because of polishing and sanding. Seam lines can make the doll ashy, but casters offer as many as 25 shades. That is true. So I have seen a lot of resin doll companies offer so many variations of shades of colors, from super white all the way to super dark, all the way to fantasy colors galore. There's a lot of different representation in resin, but I would say that the majority of resin dolls still are released in some variation of white, semi-white, or milk. Excuse me. Or flesh skin tone colors. All those other colors are represented in resin, but you don't see them as much. But they are options that that you can choose from, and that's something that we're severely lacking in the vinyl side of things. And like I said, right now, Danny's the only one out of all the big name companies that is making something akin to cinnamon and darker variations of skin tone colors. You do have a lot of up and coming places that are making darker skin tone girls and boys, but they're not very well known right now within the community. Things like Dollbot. Dollbot has their own variation of tan and is a very nice looking tan, but not many people know about Dollbot. And Dollbot is not something that's very easily accessible for people outside of Japan. I mean, you can buy it. It's just not as easy as like Smart Doll. Like you just go to Smart Doll and just buy it and be like, huh, I'm done with it. And it is a different kind of doll. It is still vinyl with variations of plastic, but it is not the same kind of setup that you're used to if you're used to collecting Dolphy Dreams and or Smart Dolls. Let's see. Barbie Witch says, as he pointed out so many times, there's no difficulty getting light-skinned dolls. There has historically been trouble getting dolls that are not pale, and he wants to do things that aren't. That is true. Magical Kit Kat says, I just don't think representation is needed for lighter skin tones. Representation is reserved, in my opinion, underrepresented and minority groups. That is true. And I think that's what Danny's just going for right now. Danny is just trying to create product for a fan base that is just not heavily represented amongst, let's say, the big three, which is Dolphy Dream, Azone, and Smart Doll. Let's face it, out of all the doll companies in vinyl, those are pretty much the big three. There are many other vinyl companies, but they don't get as much propaganda, I guess you could say, as those three. And out of those three, he is championing, is that the right word? Championing all the underrepresented individuals at this point, like people with disabilities, people that use certain medical devices, people with, different pigmentation, and people with freckles, people with acne, like these are things that you never really see in dolls ever historically. So he's reaching out to that fan base of underrepresentation. So I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. Like if that's something he wants to do, that's something he wants to do. And like I said before, unfortunately, if you want a Smart Doll in a lighter skin tone color, at this point in time, you're just not going to get it because that's not what's in the plans for the time being. But if you're dead set in getting like a lighter skin tone color, there are other options out there. What else is going on here? I'm like jumping all over the place. Oh my God, you guys are really active today. Though using food description to name skin tones is a bit iffy, but I can sort of let it slide. It's already hard to have decent representation in mainstream media. That's not a checklist. Yeah, but like other than beverages, I'm not really sure how he would word it. Like if it was like 10 to 15 years ago when I was growing up, nobody batted an eye when you said things like they're black or they're brown or they're yellow or something like that. But nowadays, in today's society, those terminologies are not used anymore. Like those are things that if you use them to describe people, it leaves a sour taste in people's mouths. Some people think it's offensive, some people are indifferent, some people don't care, but it's not as frequently used nowadays. And people try to shy away from those type of terminology. So I think what Danny's trying to do is try to avoid any kind of confrontation by using things and to make it sound normalized when, if you're not normal skin, then what are you? You know what I mean? Like that singles out a lot of people, because if you're saying that cinnamon is the normal skin tone color, then what does that mean? If I'm more of a tea or more of a coffee kind of person, I'm not normal. So it's walking that fine line on when you're naming things, how do you do it in a way that is, I guess you could say, least offensive? Because in today's society, a lot of people are very sensitive to the way you use terms. And sometimes you just can't win. Like sometimes you could use a totally innocent term to describe something with no ill intentions behind it, and there's always going to be somebody out there that will find something wrong with it, and then you're in trouble. So it's very hard to be somebody, not, I don't want to say celebrity, but somebody that is, you know, very vocal in social media to say a certain thing, and then you'll get hammered for it. Like even me just using those terminology now in my video, people are probably going to be like, "Oh, Shizusan's racist. He's using these terms." I'm just trying to explain a point that today's society, like we are very sensitive to, you know, the use of terms and the use of words. So it's very fine line trying to describe certain people or certain things or certain activities without getting some kind of repercussion from somebody out there. So I think using beverages for smart doll skin tone colors, while it might not be the most ideal for some people, I think it's probably one of the safer options that you could use to describe, like, you know, a person's complexion, I guess. But it is, I find it very hard nowadays to be somebody in social media and say something that doesn't offend somebody. It's very easy to offend people nowadays. And a lot of people in social media, we just got to be careful. I mean, there are individuals who just don't care and just say whatever the hell they want. And that, if that's their prerogative, that's their prerogative. But, you know, at least on my channel, I try my best to be mindful for what I say. Now, I'm not perfect. Sometimes I can say something that's really wrong, and you guys can call me out on it and I will correct it, because I am not perfect and I do tend to make mistakes. But it's hard sometimes just trying to make sure that you try to get your point across, or talk about something, you know, without offending certain individuals. And, you know, it's just a fact of life, though. Really, you can't please everybody. There's always going to be, at least out of the billions of people out there, if all of you agree with me except for one person, at least there's always that one person that doesn't agree with you. You know what I mean? There's no way that every living human being in the world is going to agree with 100% everything you say. There's always going to be the one naysayer at the least. But it's hard. It is hard to be in social media nowadays and talk about things without having some kind of backlash. As there is a lot of things that, a lot of topics that can turn into, like, you know, huge, like minefields of verbiage that you could go through. You're not overstepping in your thoughts, Jay Louisa, and that's part of the reason why I love doing what I do on this channel. Is I want to give you guys a voice, and you guys can do it in the chat, and you guys can do it in the comments, and I will read them out loud, and we will have a discussion about it, because these are discussions that need to be had. Whether it's on the Doll Symposium or beyond the doll. I think it's very good and it's very healthy to talk about these feelings. Kitten Cat Shop says, Jay Lisa, check my Ipple doll. They offered some really nice darker tones. One is super dark, but still realistic. She's amazing. Cat says, I have my own soapbox too, and that doesn't make me right. It's just my belief. Yeah, no, and that's fine. That I agree with that, Cat. Like, we can only do as much as we can do as a person. And, you know, we can only express our feelings from what we believe in. We can't speak for anybody else. So all the things that you hear from me in my shows is just from my own belief, from my background, me growing up in this area with this culture, with this religion, or whatever have you. All those outside factors influence the person that I am today. And, you know, I can only speak from that specific, like, outlook. You know, but there are many people in the world that have different outlooks on things, and it's fine to be talking about it, because I think that's how we get to understand each other better, is by talking about it. So I may not be right all the time. I may only be right maybe 10% of the time, but at least I'm trying to make a healthy conversation so where we can all talk about something and maybe get to know each other better. Let's see. Christina Kowal says, have you played Unicorn Overlord demo? It looks really good. I want to so bad. I Unicorn Overlord looks so good. I just don't have the money for it right now. I just made a huge purchase upgrading my computer setup because my old one died on me. So, like, I kind of like in a resave mode right now. Barbie Witch says, there's nothing virtuous about being politely bigoted, though. If one is mad about the availability of dark skin tones over light ones, I've got some questions about one's character. Listen, I people can say whatever they want. I don't really have like any stock in that kind of conversation. If people want what they want and they can go and get it, that's fine by me. As long as it doesn't impact my, my well-being, then there's nothing more that I can do. I can't force people to do or not do something. What's up, Lovely Day? Welcome to the stream, Lovely. It's good to see you. I think the coffee skin tone is lovely. It's still in development, might change a little anyways. I personally don't agree with the arguments of lightening it to make it more in the middle between tea and cocoa. I think it looks great the way it is. I really do. I think this lighter version is a good mix between the tea and cocoa. Could it be changed for the better? I don't know. I don't have an artistic eye. Sometimes when Danny releases something, I'll be like, that's amazing. And then he'll release like version 2.0 and I'm like, that's even better than it was before. Like, so I can't really say whether or not this version of coffee is the way I really like it. I'll reserve my opinion till the final version comes out, but I'm liking what I see so far. I think it looks really good. Barbie Witch says, the fact that these voices persist, like that there are people who seem ready to die on that milk Shinstone Hill no matter what, that's disturbing. Yeah, I mean, people are people. They're always going to have like their own say, and social media gives them a platform to do it, just as social media is giving me a platform now to say what I want to say. But if you don't like it, try not to chime into it. But I think it's at least a good discussion to have if we can keep it civil. That's just my thoughts on it. Lovely's like, I'm happy to leave the creative decision regarding the tones with the developers. I'm sure they have their reasons. I 100% agree with that, Lovely. Kat says, ignorance is still ignorance, even when dressed up in glitter and gold. I believe most people have good intentions. I would like to believe that most people have good intentions too. Because it would be a very sad life if I believed everybody was evil and out to get me. I would rather be the glasses half full guy than the glasses half empty guy. But that's just me. I can't force people to be like me or think like me. So there's always going to be different types of people out there with different experiences and thoughts. And whether that's right or wrong, I feel like it's not really for me to say, unless it's super objectively wrong. You know what I mean? Like for instance, I would like to believe, I don't know if it's true, but I would like to believe that, everybody out there in the world is inherently good people. Like, I don't believe that there is some kind of culture or religion or social standings or whatever that believes, let's say something extreme, like, likes to kill babies. You know what I mean? Like, I think that as a human race, as people, as a society living in this world, I think it's pretty generally understood that murdering random babies is horrid, right? Like, I'm pretty sure everybody would agree with that. And I'm not trying to get into that political scheme of what's going on in the United States about what defines as a baby, because, right now there's a lot of talk politically about beliefs on whether or not the embryo is a baby, and there's this whole thing in Alabama. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking like fully functional, like 2-year-olds. Okay, let's say that, like, they're moving around, walking, talking, whatever. I think in general, I'm pretty sure the entire world will pretty much be on board with saying killing random 2-year-olds would be absolutely horrid and should not happen, right? Like, I would hate to think that there's a culture or some society out there that believes that that is like the right thing to do. You know what I mean? Like, I know I'm going to the extremes, but I'm only using the extreme to justify a point that, like, I think everybody is inherently good, like, I don't think anyone is purely evil. But if I look at the world and if I encounter everyone I meet from that standpoint, thinking that everyone's evil, I'm not going to get anywhere in life. I'm going to feel so lonely. So I like to believe that, everyone is good, and I want to go and give everyone the benefit of the doubt that I meet, that they're a good, wholehearted person. That's just me though. Like, I'm not saying you guys have to do it, but that's just me. That's just the way I feel. And I feel it helps me, like, live my life better because I'm always happy go lucky, I guess you could say. Tempest Sarp says, yeah, it becomes like yellow ivory or coffee laden tooth enamel. I know, I've seen those resin dolls. Like, it can be bad, and I don't think there's any way to clean that, right, Tempest? There's no way to get it like lighter really without ruining it. Kat says it's learning when the intentions hurt and why Danny and his team are continuing to find ways to communicate their message. I said way more than I intended to, just been on my mind and heart a lot this week. Hey, I feel you. And if you if you want to say more about it, Kat, I am all on board with it. I like having these kind of discussions. I think it's helpful. I said it many times, but that's just how I feel. Cymax agrees, got the nice heart emoji. Barbie Witch says, same. I have been saying, wait, I'm sorry. I lost it because the thing moved. The same thing all week, pretty much inclusive to what Kat's saying. I am only offended that you think Idolmaster is better franchise than Love Live. But let me specify, Barbie Witch. It's Idolmaster Cinderella Girls I think is better than Love Live. The original Idolmaster I don't think is better than Love Live. That's just my 2 cents. I'm you can't control the actions of others, true, but you can set forth an example when you've got a voice and a platform to lead people to water and drink. I feel like it's not a wrong thing. No, that's true. You do have a point with that, Barbie Witch, but I don't see myself that way, and I probably should, I guess, but I don't see myself as a leader, leading people anywhere. I'm just some guy in like a dark room in the corner of his house talking to, a bunch of like, strangers from all over the world. I mean, I use the term strangers, but I mean, you guys, I consider you all my doll family, but in reality, we haven't actually met some of you. Barbie Witch, I know you because I met you, but like a lot of you, I haven't, met you yet. But I do know you from from chat and, having you guys company here and be able to talk about this subject. But, like I consider you guys all my part of my doll family, but I never, I don't think myself as any kind of leader type. I'm flattered that you may think that I have the capability of doing that, but I don't know. I'm just some dude talking into a camera right now. Carla Newman, welcome to the stream. That's optimistic, but unfortunately there is evil out there. I know, you're right. There is evil out there. I do acknowledge that. It's just, if I think about it too much, then I just get depressed. I want to just keep thinking about the good stuff, really. But I do acknowledge it's just true. There is evil out there. It's not like it doesn't exist. Barbie Witch says, to say dark skin isn't bad. Dark skin shouldn't be passed over. There were studies done of little girls passing over black dolls because they perceive them as ugly or bad. That's heartbreaking. That is heartbreaking. Like, why would you say that to a child? Why would you say that to a child? Children do not know the difference between skin tone colors. They don't. Like, and I don't know if anyone knows that without... Okay, how do I say this the right way? Like, when I was single, okay, before I was married, before I had kids, I didn't know what kids knew. Like, I didn't know the development cycle of children, what they do know, what they don't know, at what age or whatever. Like, I didn't know as a single male back then. But now being a father and raising 2 kids, like, one thing I do know is that my kids, like, they don't, I know this is like such a cringe thing to say, but they don't see color. Like, they just see their friends. You know what I mean? Like, they're like, oh, this is my friend John, or this is my friend Stephanie. Like, they just like them. They don't see skin tone colors. They don't see races. They're just like, they're just a person. That's John. That's just John. That's what he looks like. He's my friend. Like, kids don't see that. And to say something like that to a young kid, like teaching them that at a young age, that's just horrible. That's absolutely horrible. Because they don't know that. They don't know those. They don't know any kind of differences in people. They just see their friend. That's all they see. And that's why, that's how I feel we should all see each other. We're just friends. We're all friends. We shouldn't see races or creeds or religions. We just see our friend. My friend Kat. My friend Barbie Witch. Like, guys are my friends. I don't see anything else but my friend. Barbie says, by optimistic, I mean probably unrealistic. Carla Newman says, yes, we should definitely try to be examples and make the world a better place. We should, but I don't think I'm a good example. I'm just some guy talking to a camera. I don't see myself as a good person, though. I try to be. I really try to be, but I don't think I have those kind of virtues yet. Christina says, hey, you can play the demo of Unicorn Overlord for free, and it lasts a long time when you're playing it. Okay, I'll try and download the demo. I have PS5. I can get on PS5, right? Barbie Witch says, with that, my piece is officially said. That was little girls having the perception of dolls. That's why they thought of black skin little kids. Kat says, it isn't an easy discussion. I sure appreciate you wanting to talk about it. Half the battle is conversation. Some of the best conversation I've ever had in my life came from this community. Well said, Kat. And Barbie Witch agrees. That is well said, Kat. Yeah, I think, even though that my channel is a doll related channel, the majority of what we talk about here is dolls. But when talking with dolls, I mean, because these dolls are basically a personification of humans, just little versions of humans, things like skin tone color obviously gets into the mix. And I think that because we are an international community coming from many different countries all over the world with different races, different creeds, different upbringings, different social upbringings, I think that because our community is so large and international, it could very easily be a topic that could come very contentious and I do appreciate the fact that all of you that come to my channel and watch my channel and listen to this discussions, all of you have been very open minded to even want to talk about it. And I super appreciate the fact that I have such a loving and welcoming community here on my channel that is willing to talk about the hard details that just come up in life. And unfortunately, they do come up in our community, and that's just a thing. And I think that ignoring it and just trying to sweep it under the rug is not the way to go. I think now we don't have to talk about it in every single episode, but I think that having a conversation about it, and a healthy conversation about it at that, is just good, for the community in general, to help us understand each other better, because something that's normal to me may not be normal to somebody else in the world. And if I do something that I think is normal and ends up being offensive to somebody else, I would like to at least have the opportunity to, talk about it and explain it. And hopefully we can meet some kind of middle ground where I understand their feelings and they understand mine. And, we can come to some common ground and see that there was no malice behind the words, and just, be like, hey, we still love each other. We're still good. So I do appreciate that my community here on this channel is so open and perceptive to that stuff. And I cannot stress enough like how awesome that is, to be able to have healthy conversations about these things with you guys. It's super cool. Barbie says, and you are a good person. I try to be. I honestly, I try to be, but I honestly am not also at the same time. Okay, so here, a fun fact, or maybe not so fun fact. One of the things that I like a lot, like from a personal standpoint, is I love comedy. Like stand-up comedy is one of the things I love so much. I watch so much stand-up comedy. It's one of my favorite things. But the problem with stand-up comedy is it can get very offensive very fast. And not everybody likes stand-up comedy because of that. Like, because a lot of times in stand-up comedy, they talk about race, or they make fun of race, or they make fun of religion, or they make fun of like disabilities, or what have you. They make fun of like everything. There's some comics out there, some comedians out there, there's no holds barred, right? Me personally, I'm a fan of it all. Like, I like it all, from wholesome family, non-cursing, clean comedy. I love it. Dirty sexual innuendo comedies, I still love it. Like comedies about race or religion, I still love it. I love all facets of comedy. That's just my thing. and I just find it a lot of fun. But I don't normally talk about it, and I don't normally tell people about it because, you know, not everybody's on board with that kind of stuff. So, so if some of you think that I'm a good person, I try to be a good person, but I do like some edgy stuff. Like, it does make me laugh. It does bring some joy into my life, but I come with it with the notion or the understanding that these are jokes. This is just meant to be funny and not to be taken seriously. I feel like when you start taking it seriously and thinking that people are saying things because they honestly believe it is when you start getting into murky waters. But I do understand the opposite argument against it, saying, well, how can you come up with those things if you don't believe those things? And yeah, you're right. Like, some people, when they say those things, there's no way to tell if what they're saying is just purely a joke or if they really believe it. Like, that is a slippery slope right there too. Like, how can you tell if a person, when they're saying those off color things, if they're just saying it to like get a rise out of people and make a joke, or if they're saying it because they feel like they can get away with saying how they really feel and just disguising it as a joke? So I can understand that that is a very slippery slope. So, you know, I feel like that being a person that enjoys like all forms of comedy, good or bad, I think that makes me a bad person, doesn't it? Like, I kind of feel like that that makes me bad because I find some kind of joy or some kind of like funness to all those different kinds of conversations. So I think if I do find that as a form of entertainment, does that make me a bad person? I don't know. I honestly don't know. So sometimes when you guys say like, no, Shizusan's a good guy, like, am I? I don't know. I like some things that a lot of people would find questionable. So I don't know. But I do, when I talk to people from face to face or from YouTube to international, you know, I try to put my best foot forward, not as a fake thing, like I'm trying to be fake or something like that. It's more so that like, this is how I really feel. I just have weird quirks that I think are fun and funny as entertainment. But, you know, it's not that I believe those things are real. I just, you know, just to me it's entertainment. But a lot of people take it very seriously. But yeah, that's enough about my weird quirks that I like, as I have many. We could do, if you guys want, we could do a whole episode of Shizusan's weird quirks. I have lots of them. And I'm curious, maybe some of you share some of the same weird quirks, but I have a lot of weird, really weird quirks. Like, my wife looks at me sometimes, she's like, "What are you doing?" like I I am a super weird person. I really am. I'm weird. Oh, Havlin Star, thank you for the donation, Havlin Star. Thank you so much. It's very appreciated. Let's see. Havlin says, "Hi, hello. Arrived a bit late, but hope is okay. Do you think, apart from Danny, do you think other Japanese doll makers might follow with darker skin tones like Coco, or you don't think that will happen?" That's a very good question, Havlin Star. So, I think with Danny Chu making the darker skin tone colors has definitely risen or piqued curiosity from the other doll makers. I really think that, you know, he has opened a door that other doll companies, at least at the time, were not willing to open yet, if anything. And I said this earlier in the stream, you probably have missed it, but I'll say it again. Volks and Azone, one of the big three, have made their own versions of a tea skin tone color doll or a tan skin tone color doll. They had made their versions of it, but they were very rare, very few and far between. And one could even argue that Volks's version of tan is pretty much just cinnamon skin tone color that we have for Smart Doll. But I think that with Danny opening the door to tea, cocoa, and now coffee, I think it has risen interest in other doll companies in possibly making them. I know, you know, it's good business practice to always check out the competition. And I'm pretty sure Volks and Azone is looking at Smart Doll with a fine-tooth comb to see, you know, what they can do. And I think that's healthy. I think this is a good thing. That's why we have Smart Doll. And then why we have Dolphy Dream DDF cubed. and DDF 2.0 as a direct response to the original Mirai frame. And then after, Dolphy Dream DDF 3, Smart Doll hit back with its Evolve frame. You know what I mean? So healthy competition amongst the brands is definitely good for the consumer, and it's good for the hobby. So whether or not the other companies will go and make darker skin tone colors, I don't know. But I think they are definitely looking at what Danny and his team is doing. And I think some people might take a page out of it for reals. Like everybody is joining on the bandwagon. That original Mirai frame with the ball joints going all up the spine, everybody's copying that now. Dolphy Dreams DDF 3 2.0 is pretty much a copy of it. Not like 100%, but they used a lot of information. I have nothing to prove this, though, obviously. I have nothing to prove this, but you could definitely tell by the way that the new Dolphy Dream DDF 3 2.0 body looks like. You could see some cues that they took from Smart Doll's original Smart Doll frame. Also with Azone. Azone's new body that they teased to us, the Q7, like 2 years ago, almost looks exactly like a Smart Doll frame. And their new body that they're coming out with, that's coming out soon, also looks like a Smart Doll. Like, a lot of companies are copying it. And I think it was 2 episodes ago on Beyond the Doll, we were talking about doll companies that not many people know about. There's another doll company out there called Dollbot. And Dollbot, if you look at their doll and the design of the doll, it visually looks different than Smart Doll or Dolphy Dream. But if you look at the skeleton that they show you on their website, there's a lot of design cues that were taken from Smart Doll into their creating of their doll frame. So are other doll companies keeping an eye out on Smart Doll? You bet their bottom dollar they are. They are looking at what Smart Doll is doing from fine tooth comb. And if they see, because it is a business and it is a for-profit business with Dolphy Dream and Azone, if they want to tap into that market too and get some of the money that Danny Chu is currently raking up because he is the only game in town, then maybe they will do that. They might branch out and go for a darker skin tone color. We've already seen it with Dolphy Dream, right? We've seen it happen with Y'shtola from the Final Fantasy XIV collaboration that has a very different skin tone color of tan than we've ever seen from Dolphy Dream. And also for Dolphy Dream Icon, the Tawny with the dark skin tone color, that is their answer to Danny Chu's Coco. And it is a very, very lovely darker skin complexion. I really, really like Tawny. Same thing with Anthe Himamiya from Revolutionary Girl Utena. Now, a lot of these are one-offs. Well, not really one-offs, but they are very limited collaboration dolls that were released from Volks. But the potential is there. Like, the potential for darker tan skin tone dolls from other companies than Smart Doll is already there. Now, whether or not those companies are going to maximize it and make it a lot more available is another story. But I think that's a very good question, Havlin, and I'm glad you raised it. And I think that's something to look out for in the future. I think that you may see some darker skin tone colors starting to pop up a little bit more often from other brands. Let's see. So what else is going on? You guys are so funny. Everyone is a dirtbag sometimes. Yeah, everybody is a dirtbag sometimes. Somebody was a dirtbag to me today. Today it was raining. It was pouring out. And you know what happened to me today? I got a drive-by baptism. That is what happened to me. I was walking down the street with my umbrella, walking to work, and some dirtbag in a big SUV just drove up next to me and splashed all that water like a tidal wave over me. I was soaked. I was at work the rest of the day, just soaked. Like, I had squeaky shoes like the whole day. My socks were wet and everything. It was bad. So some people, yes, sometimes people are just dirtbags. Barbie Witch says, my favorite kinds of chuckles are rough chuckles, like really hard gallow humor that are like, oh my God, I can't believe you just made a joke about that fetal disease, you monster. Like, as a means to cops, not as a means to punch below the belt. Yeah, I mean, like, I like all different forms of comedy. I don't know if that makes me a bad person or not, but definitely I've watched some edgy comedy where I thought things were funny and people are like, whoa, why do you think that's funny? That's just wrong. And I'm like, because it's a joke. It's not serious. Like, but that's just me. Like, not everybody thinks that way. Kim Catchop says, I love those that make you think. Stuart, Carlin, Izard? I don't know the Izard one, but Stuart and Carlin I know. Yeah, the ones that make you think, they're really good. You know who's really good right now is Trevor Noah. Trevor Noah has a way of doing comedy that pretty much everybody can understand, and for the most part it's clean comedy. Like, he doesn't use any really over the top, like, dirty comedy. He doesn't use foul language really that much, if ever. It's very clean comedy, very good, wholesome comedy. I really like Trevor Noah's kind of stuff. Matt says, laughing at something is one of the best ways to invalidate it socially, in my opinion. If you're laughing at it because it's so ridiculous, it's dumb, that's good. Okay, I mean, I guess so. Christina says, have you ever seen The Young Ones, a very old English show? It is super funny. I honestly can't say I have, Christine. Barbie agrees with Matt. Yeah, I see why, and I agree with Kitten Cat Shop as well. King Catchup says, at Havlin, many already are, and even darker, more range between more body shapes too. Oh, that's for the skin tone colors that they're talking about. Barbie Witch says, we need Jon Stewart in these troubled times. Didn't Stewart come back? Jon Stewart came back to do the Late Show, or the Daily Show, right? I dropped my pen. I was fidgeting with my pen and I dropped it. Let's see. Magical Girl Cat says, comedy is a safe space. It comes from a place of truth in a lot of situations. We all want the space to laugh and learn. Ben and I love comedy. I love stand-up comedy, Cat. I don't know. Sometimes I feel guilty sometimes when I laugh at things because, you read the comment section sometimes of some of these like short jokes things, and people are like, oh my God, I can't believe they said that. That's so offensive. And I'm like, it's just a joke. I don't think they mean it. But I don't know. Like, sometimes I feel like, people just want to say something just to get a rise out of people. Like, and I mean the comment section. I don't mean the comedians themselves. Obviously, their job is to get a rise out of people. But yeah. Let me see. Havlin says, thank you. Sorry, I didn't rewind to catch still live. No, that's fine, Havlin. No, that's totally fine. I love the question. And thank you again for the donation, Havlin. I really appreciate it. But yeah, no, ask away any kind of questions. I really enjoy that kind of stuff. Matt says, and now we're getting DDF3 2.0 Super Max Cubed, or whatever they're calling it. I know it's getting ridiculous with these naming. Can't we just call it like DDF3 or DD4 at this point? Because, DDF3 is really a variation of the DD3. I think that this DDF3 2.0, kind of naming scheme, just call it DD4. Can we just call it DD4 at this point? Like, these names are getting a little ridiculous. I agree with you. DDF3 2.0 Supermax Cubed. That's pretty funny. Kat says, we quote comedians all the time. I like spicy romance novels and I'm super into alien conspiracy theories, mysteries happening, and disappearances, all things paranormal and poop jokes. I 100% agree with you, except for the paranormal. I can't do the paranormal thing. It freaks me out. I get so weirded out. Like, paranormal really scares me. I'm such a baby when it comes to those things. I can't do the paranormal stuff. Oh my God. Even thinking about it right now is creeping me out. Oh my God. Okay, so you're going to laugh, but I think it was when my daughter was born. So roughly around 2010, somewhere around that time, like 2010, 2009 area. I was watching my daughter. She was a baby at the time, and my wife was out. And this was during October, so it's Halloween season. So on, I think it's the Discovery Channel, where they have like Fright Nights for the whole week leading up to Halloween, where it's all scary stuff. And I was sitting there one day with my daughter. She was, feeding her with the bottle and stuff. And because my hands were already full, like I was holding her in one hand, I was holding the bottle in the other hand, I couldn't change the channel, right? So I was watching a show on Discovery, and it wasn't scary at all. I forgot what it was. I think it was like Ink Master or something like that. And then it said the top 15. The next episode was the top 10 or 15 scariest episodes of ghost Ghost Chasers, whatever that show is called, Ghost Stories or the paranormal one. And I was like, oh no, but I couldn't change the channel. I couldn't change it because I had the kid, and if I remove the bottle, she's gonna cry. I was like, so I just kept it on, right? And I'm like watching this thing, and I will never forget it. And it's scaring me right now to talk about it. But I think it was like number 2 or number 3 on the list was some lighthouse tower in Florida, in like South Florida. There was a lighthouse tower, and oh my god, it's scaring me now to think about it. Google it if you want to, but there's a lighthouse tower in Florida from the Ghost Explorers or whatever the hell that ghost show is called. It scared the bejesus out of me, and every time I see a lighthouse now, I freak the hell out. Like oh my god, that was so creepy. I can't do creepy. I turn into a real baby when it comes to like scary stuff. Oh my goodness. Barbie Witch says, what does that mean you watch Ancient Aliens, Cat? Oh, there's a TV show called Ancient Aliens where they like talk about, like, that show is cool. I like that, where they talk about like things that they can't explain, like Stonehenge or like the crop circles in like South America, where they try to explain it and they're like, maybe aliens did it or something like that. That's a funny show. I like that show. Barbie Witch, or have in the past watched like every single docum? What's docum? Oh, documentaries. I love documentaries. I hated documentaries when I was a kid. I love them now. Magical Girl Kit Kat says Ancient Aliens I've watched, but sometimes I'm like, that's a stretch. No, that's true. Sometimes I say the same thing. I'm like, no way, that's such a stretch. I think he purposely makes it that way for the attention. No way he doesn't. Jay Louisa says drive-by baptism. That's funny. Yeah, I always call it that. I heard it from one comedian. They use the term drive-by baptism for like when a car splashes water on you. And I've been using it ever since. That's like my go-to word when cars splash people with water. Oh my god, there's so much going on. I'm trying to catch up to you guys. You guys type so fast. Havlin says, yes, I love the tawny Volks color. That's the caramel skin tone. I wish we get something similar for that in Smart Doll someday. Yeah, I really like tawny from Volks. Like, that skin tone color is really good. Let's see what's going on. Jay Louisa, gotta watch Dave Chappelle. Oh my god, I love Dave Chappelle. Unity. It's so funny. Barbie Witch, I love Tim and Eric full stop. I don't know that one, the Tim and Eric full stop. Scruffy looking Nerf order. I've tried twice for the Dolphy icon Aisha. The tawny skin tone is gorgeous. Yeah, that's my next one. So now that I finally got my hands on the purple and I have the iris, you know, right now, which is Izumi. Thank you everybody for helping with the name. My next time I'm going for Dolphy Icon is a tawny. I'm definitely going to go for a tawny. I also do like Petal. I like the lighter skin tone one color also. I like Petal as well. So I might go for, I'm thinking Aisha. I might do Aisha. I might do the other one. What is the name for Petal? Petal is the skin tone color, but I think her name was like Sarah, I think it was. I'm not really into Clover right now. If I had to get Clover, Clover's going to be the last one I go for. But Tawny is definitely my next one. Let's see. Kat says, I bought ghost hunting equipment. I absolutely plan to take a doll to do an investigation this year in Texas. She will wear holy water and protective crystals. It'll be fine. Oh my god. No way, Kat. You are brave. You are brave. There's no way in hell I would buy ghost hunting equipment and go somewhere. No way. You would have to bribe me with all the rare dolls in the world to do that. No. Nuh-uh. Not for me. That scares the hell out of me. You're gonna see a grown man cry and piss himself. Like, if you take me along, I cannot do that. Resident Alien is hilarious. I haven't seen it yet. I want to watch it though. It looks good. It's on my queue, which is really big, right? Barbie Witch says, ghost things always scare the the poop out of me. Me sitting in the dark listening to my spirit box like talk to me. No, that creeps me out. I couldn't do it, Kat. I'm so scared of those things. Cymex at Magical Kit Kat, it's my new favorite show. And if you go ghost hunting with your doll, I want to see that. I do want to see that. If you go ghost hunting with your doll, I want to see pictures because that I would like to see. Just make sure there's nothing like a ghost in the background of the picture, please. I will freak out. Jay Luisa says, should have changed the channel with your toe. I couldn't. Like, I was sitting, like, so, okay, so the way I was sitting, there's no feasible way I could have gotten to the remote. Like, that was the problem. So, like, I had it on, and, you know, I was watching the whole thing, and, you know, it gave me nightmares. It really gave me nightmares. It was bad. Barbie Witch says, consistently, I'll watch the ghost thing, and then there's, oh, everything is a ghost. Oh my god. Magical Girl Kit Kat says, I will film it for the channel. I've got some weird stuff planned this year. Even ASMR with dolls. Ooh, that sounds interesting. Kit Kat Shops. Skeptic's Guide to the Universe and Skeptoid podcasts are my favorite. Ooh, send me a link to that. I'm kind of curious what that is. Jay Louis says, should have been a Karen when you were getting your purple doll. Your story in your video made me mad for you. I was mad. Like, inside, I was mad, Jay Louisa. At home, I was mad. I was, like, yelling, not at my wife, but, like, I was yelling, telling the story to my wife about it. I was, like, super frustrated. But, like, when I deal with people in public, like, at stores and things like that, I don't usually, like, act a Karen. And mainly because I don't know the situation, man. I mean, that guy behind the counter, I know nothing about his life. Maybe he was having the worst day ever. Maybe he woke up, his wife left him, he went to work, his car broke down on the way to work, he lost his wallet. I don't know. Like, a bunch of things could have happened which made him had a real crappy day. And, like, because I don't know the backstory to people, I don't want to start, like, attacking people at their jobs, you know, and saying, like, you should do this or you should do it. Because they could be having the worst day ever, and I'm just like another stepping stone on that worst day. So instead of having two people have a bad day, I'll just take the loss. I'll take the hit. That's just my theory on it. Carla Newman says, there's some cool haunted places in El Paso, Cat, you should visit. Oh my god, I've heard of those. It was on that Scariest Ghost Moments. There's a hotel in Texas. I remember this clearly because it scared the living bejesus out of me, but there's a hotel in Texas where, like, there's some woman that comes out on the stairwell or some crap. Oh my god, I'm getting goosebumps right now. Oh, stop making me think about ghosts. King Cash Out says, take a doll ghost hunting. That's how you get haunted dolls. Dude, for reals. Like, what if a spirit in like goes into your doll and comes home with you? Oh my god, that scares the bejesus out of me. Barbie Witch, my dad promised to come back as a ghost and has not made a good on that, except our lights keep dimming. Yo, that could be him doing it. Low effort haunting dad. Scruffy looking nerf hoarder says, Sarah and Nikki are the pedal tone. Oh, that's the name, Nikki. Nikki was the one from last summer's that I really wanted. She looks really good. Kat says, that's why you got to give them holy water and crystals. They'll be fine. Havlin Star says, I grew up with my grandparents in the countryside in my teen years. Sometimes I'd get the last bus, so I'd arrive at the bus stop past midnight. What? Past midnight? Then I'd walk in full darkness past by an old cemetery. What? Dude, that's crazy. Nuh-uh. Nuh-uh, you had to do that. No. That is crazy. That I would freak out every time. Like, I'd run. Barbie says, seriously, not even trying. Has he not met a single Baba Yaga in the afterlife? Havlin Star says, maybe because of that, I grew up agnostic towards spirits. Maybe. You might have an affinity towards spirits visiting that cemetery on a daily basis. He was terrified of Baba Yaga in life. Kitten Cat Chop says, I'm Buddhist. Holy water won't work. Or I'm like Benny from the Mummy. Benny from the Mummy. Dude, that guy was funny. Kat says, yes, Carla. Texas is best place for all kinds of spooks. Oh my god, Carla, was that the name of the ghost? Oh, no, I said her name. Now it's like Beetlejuice. She's gonna appear. No. My dolls have crystals in their heads. Ooh, to ward off the spirits? A Tempest says, there's a vampire museum near me that has haunted dolls. Doll convoy stop. No, I do not want to add that to the convoy. No. No, you had me at vampire, and then when you said haunted dolls, I'm like, nope, no. Vampire, I'll go see the vampire museum. That's kind of cool. Haunted dolls, no, can't do it. No, no. Like, Magical Girl Cat says, I'll make sure the doll will be decked out in all the religious and spiritual protectants. Only the best for my girls. You guys are killing me. Barbie Witch says, my dad says he saw a ghost in my grandpa's house in Carrollton. Oh no, please no. Carla Newman says, hey now. Christina Kowal, but you've been waiting for this doll for 4 years. That is so understandably. I know, but like, I have, but like, I just, I can't. I just, inside, I would feel so bad yelling at this person. Haunted dolls aren't that bad. I don't know. Haven't you seen Megan and Chucky? Like those things are creepy. I mean, the Megan doll's a little kind of cool though, but still a little creepy though. Kate and Cat says, Tempest, we can visit the Mutter. I don't know what that is. I don't know if I want to know what that is. Barbie Witch, I took an interesting class on them a couple of years ago. Cat, bring Dante. I've wanted to visit the Mutton Museum. The Mutter Museum, I don't want to know. You guys are freaking me out now. I don't know if I want to know what this Mutton Museum thing is. Those are horror movies? Yo, I don't know about that. You guys remember that horror movie back in the day? I think it was like early 90s or 80s. It was called Christine, about the car. Oh my god, anytime we drive by a classic car show, I see Christine and I freak the hell out. Like that scares the bejesus out of me. And being a car guy, that is the one car I don't want to own ever. Like that this is just so that creeped the hell out of me. The only horror movie that I've watched that I can honestly say didn't bother me at all, and maybe you guys are going to be really really surprised by this, was Children of the Corn. Have you guys ever watched that movie? So what happened was a group of friends and I were hanging out, and we got a beach home when we were in our teens. We got a beach home, and we were like hanging out for like a week at this beach home. And my friends like horror movies. I don't. And they were like, let's watch Children of the Corn. And I was like, no, that's super scary. I don't want to watch it. And they were like, come on. So I got peer pressured, basically. Everybody's going to watch it. They were like, don't be a wussy. And I was like, okay, fine. Let's watch it. The only reason that movie was not scary to me is because I was with a huge group of people. And throughout I'm talking the entire movie. I think they felt bad for me because I was really turning pale white because I was really scared. I think they felt bad for me because the whole movie, they were making jokes and making fun of it. Like almost every second of the movie, like a friend of mine cracked a joke about it. So it seemed more like a comedy to me than an actual horror movie because my friends made it that way for me. So that's the only horror movie I've ever watched that did not give me nightmares because I just found it funny the entire time, Oh my god, what the hell was that? Oh god. Jesus Christ, I thought something was behind me. It was the damn microphone. I was like, I saw it in like my screen. Dude, you guys are freaking me out. I'm like seeing things now. Like no, this is getting to me. Okay, Matt says hashtag Dollvoy is a strict no ghost event. Yes, I agree. It is a no ghost event. Please no. I am waiting to give him a new face up though, holding out for new sculpts when boys make their debut again. Oh, for Dante? Okay. Havlin Star says, oh, Nika is selling their Megan doll in true size. I saw that. I actually sent that to Danny when I saw it. I direct messaged him. I said, look at this full-size Megan doll. Kitten Cat Shop says, medical specimen museum. Lots of skulls and stuff. Very creepy. See, I can do that. I've been to what is it called? The Real Anatomy Museum in New York City. That didn't creep me out. Like, I was okay with that. Tempest says, I think dolls that are haunted are just people who like life so much they didn't want to leave. Yeah, I don't know, man. You guys are giving me the creepies. If this class I took is to be believed, then there are 3 types of haunted dolls. One that have child-created spirits, nature spirits, dead people spirits, or demons. Okay, well, definitely don't want the demon one, okay? Oh, they riff track Children of the Corn to not scare you. Yeah, they basically did. They riff track Children of the Corn so I didn't get scared. Because I think they felt bad. Because I legit was sitting there in the very beginning of the movie and I started to turn pale. Because I was getting so scared. And they just started like making jokes the whole time to make me feel better. Such good friends. Everybody's laughing. Are you guys are all laughing at me because I thought I saw something. Yo, legit, I turn off the lights and use like stage lighting now so that the camera looks clear. Like if I bring it back, like see, because I look a lot clearer, the colors are better and they're not really washed out. But it actually, like you guys on your end, you see it as bright. On my end, it's actually very dark in this room right now. And because I'm looking at like OBS to talk to you guys, the microphone is a very small black dot and I can't really see it. So like for a split second there, I thought the microphone was like a shadow behind me. Oh my God, it freaked me the hell out, you guys. It's not, it's not funny. It's interesting and sweet, very velveteen rabbity. No, don't. You guys are all laughing. To be honest, I don't like gory horror movies. I can only see in the daytime. There's a legit cool medical stuff museum here in Massachusetts. Oh, really? Where at? Like in Boston, I'm assuming? King Cat Shop says, it's okay. All our dolls only have good chi. Yes, especially Chitose. Da-dum-dum. Scruffy looking nerf herder says, I would totally... What? I can't read it. I would totally haunt a doll just to mess with people. Oh my God. No, don't do that. You know... Okay, see, now you're getting me into this. You know, you could probably put one of those little microphone receivers in the torso of the doll, and then you could like legit like be somewhere else and be like, hey guys, what's going on? And your voice would come out of the doll. You could seriously creep people out with that. That would creep me out. Oh my God, I just saw awesomeness. No, you didn't. You can't even see it in the picture. You cannot even see. You guys are intentionally doing this now. No. Her eyes are not moving. You guys are terrible. The movie that really terrorized me as a kid was Jaws. Oh, Jaws scared me too as a kid. Till this very day, I feel self-conscious when I get into the water at the beach. I'm constantly looking around me. No, I agree. Jaws scared me as a kid too. I did not like Jaws. That scared me as a kid. What? You know, there was another thing. What was it? Oh, you know what used to scare me as a kid? I don't know if all kids are like this, but when I was a kid, you know the what is it? I think it's MGM Studios. Like, you know how at the very beginning of the movie, all the production studios have their own thing. So I think MGM has the lion in the beginning. That's the one with the lion, right? So like when I was a kid, every time the lion would come out and it would roar, it scared me as a kid. That scared me. The lion roar scared me because, you know, when you're watching movies at the very beginning, it's quiet. There's no sound. And then you just see this lion and then it goes roar, like out of nowhere, because my dad had like, back in the 80s, it was like their version, I guess you can call it, of Dolby Audio, whatever the hell that was back in the 90s or the 80s. And when that lion roared, it scared the bejesus out of me. Oh my God. Kitten Catsop says, I would be a super petty poltergeist, hide phone charger cables, etc. Barbie Witch says, every time I go to meet up with my Zoom chat cancer pals, her hurt are your dolls. Haunted hurt dolls. What? People say that to you? Scruffy looking their heart says, I can have that done by the next stream. To be honest, I wouldn't mind haunting as my doll. I don't know. If you haunt as your doll, as a smart doll, haunting people, it might be kind of cute. I don't know, because they are such cute dolls. Barbie says, I would stick around in one of my dolls for a minute or two just to be like, yeah, that's Dolls Haunted. First movie, Kat says, the first movie I saw in theaters when I was 3, and it was Beauty and the Beast. I cried when the Beast made his appearance and hid. But that's understandable. The Beast was meant to be scary, though. Like in the beginning, he was supposed to be scary. Jay Louisa says, I was scared of the temple guardians from the game show Legend of the Himto Temple. Dude, me too. Oh my God, Jay Louisa, you and me, same brain. Same brain. When I watched Legends of the Hidden Temples, those stupid temple guardians freaked me out too. 100%. I am on board with you on that. And we're probably both the same age, maybe. That scared me too, Jay Louisa, for sure. I am like a little scaredy cat. Okay, so we just did a whole like 40 minutes on just talking about ghosts. Oh my god. This news episode this week is like out the window, people. We haven't even finished Smart Doll News. Okay, let's keep going. Okay, so we did the skin tone colors. We did touch upon this. This was the one where people were talking about brown loyalty and like skin tone colors and dolls, so we can skip that. This one I wanted to talk about. So this is the one where Danny Chu said, which one do you guys want to see the most? Number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4. I picked number 4 because number 4 is, he didn't say it, but 100% that's Ellie. That's Ellie from The Last of Us. That's why I want it. I want number 3 because it's Ellie. I want Ellie. That, and I know that's biased for me, but I want Ellie. I want Ellie. Ellie is so cool. So I'm picking number 3. But which one do you guys want? I know a lot of you are probably picking 2 and 4 because they're super cute. But I really want Ellie. I'm just a video game nerd, man. Like I want Ellie because of that. Oh my gosh. Magical Girl says, I also screamed when I saw E.T. Also, dude, E.T. That was another one. E.T. scared me. I had nightmares of E.T. All those kids growing up with me that said E.T. was cute and was their favorite movie, those bunch of liars. Those kids just wanted to scare people because E.T. was scary. E.T. scared the hell out of me. And you know how I know E.T. is scary? Because I showed it to my kids and they got scared of E.T. too. It's a real legit thing. E.T. is scary. Kamife says, my kid was terrified of The Little Mermaid, but cracked himself laughing at Jurassic Park. Whoa, that's weird. Little Mermaid scary, but Jurassic Park was fun. Barbie Witch says, Timothy Chalamet, Pear Girl. Wait, I'm lost on that. Are you saying you liked Pear Girls, but Timothy Chalamet is cool? Is that 2 separate things? I don't know if I'm reading that right. Magical Girl says, I actually don't like every movies. I prefer true stories. I don't seek being scared. I'm interested in the truth. Yo, documentaries is where it's at. Carla Newman says, yes, Ellie 2. Cymex says 2 and 3. Havensar says, I didn't. Kamife says, Limitless 1. I so want a neurodivergent girl. Yeah, I mean, I think she's getting released first either way. I think it's going to be number 1, to be honest. I think that's the one that's going to get released first. Barbie Witch says 2 and 4. Magical Girl says 3 and 4. Jay Louisa says 4. Matt says, people who were fans of E.T. as a kid probably listen to True Crime God podcasts now. I can't picture a kid listening to True Crime podcasts. Does that really happen? Do kids listen to that? I thought that was just adults. Magical Girl says, scary movies, Lord. I can't do scary movies. Barbie Witch says, I'm saying number 2 is the Timothy Chalamet Pear Girl. Oh, okay. I get you now. Oh, yeah, that's right. I totally forgot that. Okay, yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about now. I don't know why I blanked on that. Like, for some reason, I blanked on that. Okay, so Christina says her order would be 4, 2, 1, and 3. 3 last? Aw, man. That's okay. Barbie Witch says, I don't know. Am I the only one getting that energy from her? No, you're not. You're not. I see what you're saying. Like, I remember, I think you're the one that actually posted that in the actual Instagram post on the comment section. Because I remember hearing that term now when you say the Timothy Chalamet doll. I think somebody did say that in the comment section. Love 2's eyebrows. The 2's eyebrows, though, is like, she looks like she's sad, though. I mean, unless you're going for that look, right? Like, you want, like, a sad face doll, then maybe. But I feel like those eyebrows are kind of sad looking. What do you guys think? Kamife says, it is Autism Awareness Month, so it would make sense to release number 1. That's what I'm thinking, too. I honestly think number 1 would probably get released first than the others because of that reason. Barbu says, "Oh my god, I hate you." Autocorrect. All right. I think I finally caught up with everyone in chat. Okay, so moving on. So yeah, I think I want 3 purely for the fact that I just want Ellie. That's really all it is. I really want Ellie from The Last of Us. But I mean, either way, I don't mind which order he releases these dolls in. In all honesty, number 3 could go last. I'm fine with number 3 being last because I don't even have money to buy her right now. I need time to save money. So I'm okay with number 3 being last. All right, let's keep moving on. So then we have this is still number 1, another post with number 1 where you could see the limitless infinity thing on her forehead. The I can't remember what it is. What was it again? The not the infinity part, the way it glows. There was a name for it. The black light glowing thing. What was the name? I can't remember the name of that. The paint. The paint that he was using, the glow in the dark paint or the black light paint, either way, whatever, that thingy. So yeah, I think this is going to be the first doll to be released purely because of that, the whole autism thing. Now moving on to the timeline. So let's start from the beginning of the timeline. This stuff, we just got more doll face sculpts here, more Cortex 2 stuff. Now this is the hip joint, the upper thigh joint, I guess, that connects to the hip that he's showing us here. This one is interesting. So you have Cyber Monday. You see what I did there? So you got Cyberpunk Monday. We'll just call her Cyber Monday, right? I don't know if she's going to be released. I don't think she ever got a release. I think this is our first time seeing a Cyber Monday. But it definitely is interesting. I'm not a huge fan of the Monday sculpt, but I do think that the cyberpunk thing on there kind of gives her a little extra cool aesthetic to her. More Pear Girl pants. We get the florally pants here. This is another sculpt for Divergence, I'm assuming. Not 100% sure, but this could be Divergence. Let's see, we got more arm joints that you could just see the connectors for the haptic feedback in this picture. These are all the thigh joints that you could see here. I think these are, is this the spine joint? Yeah, I think this might be, no, I think this is the arm joint. Actually, I can see it curled up. Yeah, these are the arm joints. You have the thigh here, and I think these are the shins over here in this box. And then we have the, oh, actually, no, we don't. Who is this lady? It's not the, no, it's not, oh my goodness. It's not the one he's always been carrying around with the scar, which I think is Divergent. Is it Legion with the scar? It's not Legion with the scar because this eyes are different. I love these eyes. It's captivating. Who is this? Come, where are my sculpt scholars in chat? Because you guys know I am the worst telling sculpts. So where's my sculpt scholars in chat? Which one is this girl? Is this a prototype we never seen before? Because those eyes are captivating. I love it. Oh, Barbie Witch, looking for trouble. There you go, with the scar. So yeah, I remember because I love Looking for Trouble. Like the picture that he showed, really love her. But I haven't seen her with the scar, so that's new. So they have Looking for Trouble with the scar. But yo, these eyes are so good. Whoever came up with this idea in the Smart Doll team, like the eyeshadow, like, you know what this gives me? It gives me like Catwoman vibes. Like, I feel like this is very much so Michelle Pfeiffer Catwoman kind of vibes. I don't know. What do you guys think? More Cortex pieces. This is the inner part of the bust where the shoulder links, or at least that's what I think it is. It kind of looks like that, looking very nice. We have picture of Ellie. This is Ellie. You could tell it's Ellie because it has the cut in the eyebrow here, because that's very Ellie-like. Then we have Moon. This is the moon is cheese right here. This one I don't know. So I'm not sure whose face sculpt this one is for the faceplate. I'm not really sure what that one is. Then we have this one. This is interesting. So I don't know this sculpt. As you guys know, I'm very bad at telling sculpts. But what I think is really cool is you can actually see the difference here on this face on this side. You could see that the eyeshadow is just black. But then if you look at this one, the updated one, you could see the little white in the eyeshadow here, which is really cool. And then you can see the mouth is different. These are two different sculpts, I'm assuming, because you could say the mouth is different on both of these, but the eye shapes is the same. So it's just different. I think it's different mouth. Or is the way that they shaded the mouth like misleading? Because it could be that they added these extra lines out of the mouth to give it that illusion that it's a bigger mouth. It could be exactly the same sculpts, actually. Now that I'm really thinking about it, I think it's the same sculpts. They just drew lines out of the mouth to make it look bigger, that illusion of it being bigger. Oh, let's say Barbie Witch says, yes, it was me. Yeah, I knew it was you, Barbie Witch, putting that comment in there. I remember reading that. King Capshot says, manifested Marvel T, so set for a bit. I know, I saw that. Congratulations on Marvel T. Oh, that is the pear girl I want. Barbie Witch says, I hope Malibu Marvel comes back in stock next week. Malibu Marvel. Let's see. Barbie says, and an open mouth. Did she have an open mouth? Yeah, I believe so. I think she originally did have an open mouth. I think it was more like this one than this one. At least that's what I think. But again, I'm so horrible at identifying sculpts. Like I don't have that skill. And then I think this is her faceplate, just judging by the way that the eyelashes are set up. I think that's her faceplate. Pictures of the wall. So for those of you that have never been to the store, this is the wall of goodies that they have at the very front of the store. Just pictures of them screwing in the spine inside of the torso bit. Who's this one? This is Ellie. Another picture of Ellie right here. Very, very cool. I can only tell that's Ellie because of that stupid eyebrow thing. If that wasn't there, I would have no idea who this is. Okay. Just more flash cutting for different hand parts. They oddly look like milk for some reason. I don't know why. Pear girl top. It's a very nice top. What else we got here? Oh, see, this is cool. Now, this is not new. Okay, let me just preface. This is not a new picture, but this is just cool. I just love the tan body with the purple metallic cyberpunk lines. It just goes so well. The tan body with the purple just goes so well. But you know what I'm really curious about? I was thinking about this the other day. I'm super curious to see tan, or T rather, with the same cyber markings, but in metallic blue. What do you guys think? I think that would look awesome. Like if we had a tan OG Chitose with a metallic blue cyberpunk, I think that would look amazing. What do you guys think? I love the purple. Don't get me wrong, because you guys know purple is my favorite color. But like, I would love to see what it looks like with this tan or this T skin tone color with metallic blue. I think that would look so cool. Here's another sculpt. I don't know what this sculpt is, but it could be the same one. Yeah, I think it's Looking for Trouble, maybe. But the interesting thing is, because see, that's the thing why I really liked Looking for Trouble, because it had the beauty mark under the eye. So I think this is Looking for Trouble, but I don't remember the eyebrows being so thick. But it's a very, very nice sculpt, though. Very cool. I love the eye makeup on it. More pictures of Cortex torso that you guys can see here. Here's pictures. See, now this one, I'm having a hard time telling, but I think this is coffee, right? I think these are coffee skin tones. I don't think it's cocoa, but I could be wrong. It could be because it's very deceiving because how the lighting is when you take the picture, it could look like relatively different. But I think this could be coffee, maybe. I'm not sure. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? Barbie Witch says, I thought that sculpt was M01 too. It's hard to say. Ellie and some milkshakes. That's Ends of the Earth. Oh, okay. So this one's Ends of the Earth. Oh, okay. I like the mole, the beauty mark or the mole, whatever you want to call it. I like it. It looks awesome. I'm a sucker for that. I think Kat needs to make me a new one. I need to get my hands on a head, Kat, so you can make me another doll. I want to have another doll with a beauty mark, but I want it below the lip, like on the right side or the left side. It doesn't matter what side. But I have one under the eye. I want one like down here, like towards like the lower lip area. I think that would look so cool. Oh, this is interesting. Blue. It's like blue eye makeup. Like a navy Like a navy blue. That's interesting. Oh wow, I zoomed in way too blurred. Oh, bodycon for the pair girls. Look at that. Okay, so here we have the two different eyebrows, or no, this one no eyebrows, and this one with eyebrows. That's interesting. I think it's the same sculpt. It's just with eyebrows and one without. Okay, and then you can see here on the faceplate, I guess that's where the hole is, where that little eyebrow gets the paint on it. It's very interesting. Havlin Star says, me too for metallic blue. But after green metallic failed, not sure Danny tried different metallic colors. Yeah, that's true. But I think like blue and tan, like I think would go really nice together if he ever decided to do it. I'm curious of what it looks like. More faceplates. This is interesting. I don't know what this is, but it looks like he's making some form of a halter top, which, hey, I'm on board. Like that looks dope. It's gonna have like this cutout, I'm assuming, this diamond shaped cutout here. I mean, I could do without. It doesn't really need the diamond shaped cutout, I think. I think it looks great just as it is, but we'll see how it goes. I mean, it definitely, if it has the diamond shaped cutout, I mean, that's obviously going to be great if you use the push-up bra bust or the push-up bust. Obviously, it'll look good in this. But I mean, if you're just going to use a regular like bust, whether it's, you know, the regular one, the medium, or the extra large, it doesn't matter. I think like it won't come out as good if you have the hole there if you didn't have a push-up bust, I want to say. But maybe that's just me. But I think it would be totally fine if it just was a halter top without like the cutout. But I'm assuming that's what that diamond shape is in there. I assume he has like plans of doing some kind of cutout there. Barbie says that's some cutie honey business. Cutie honey. Oh my god, I haven't seen that anime in like so long. That is an older anime. This is a really interesting one though. And then we have more of these pictures here. I don't know what it says. Let me take out my handy dandy translator and see what this is trying to show us here, because I can't read that. Where's my translator? Whatever. Come on, turn on translator. Here we go, translate text. Let's see. This says eyeshadow Mirai Gray 11 uses ARA2 mask. Eyeliner is Mirai Black number 1. Lower eyelashes Mirai Dark Brown. That's literally what that says in that picture. So unless Google Translate has failed me, but yeah. And then this doll here. Who is this lady? Is this one looking for trouble, but in Coco? Because now I'm like stuck on looking for trouble. Anything with like these eyelashes like this, I keep thinking it's looking for trouble. I am so bad at telling face sculpts. You know what I mean? Like unless it has like the wig on and everything, and it's on the doll, like it's so hard for me to tell. Like I cannot for the life of me tell. Corey, King Hat Shop says Corey has been trying to manifest green since he first showed the original fan. I know he has. He wants that fantasy skin tone color of green for sure. Whether or not Danny Chu is gonna do that, actually, you know, whether or not Danny Chu is gonna continue with fantasy colors right now, I honestly don't even know, because everybody was on board for blue. Blue sold like crazy, and then green came out, and then gray came out, and then people lost their minds for gray. But now with Divergence, I feel like it's releasing Divergence in Black Navy is very sporadic. It's not as common as he was releasing the other skin tone colors, like the fantasy skin tone colors. So it makes me wonder if like he's shying away or like slowly phasing out like fantasy colors right now. Either that, or he's just so enamored with Pear and Cortex 2 that he's kind of like put like the fantasy colors on the wayside. I mean, that's totally possible too. Obviously, I'm not Danny Chu, so I don't know what he's thinking or what he's planning on doing. But I did notice that Divergence is like not being released as much. And we haven't seen any other doll in Black Navy other than Divergence. She's the only one. So I wonder, you know, I'm curious as to where things or where plans are going to take us for fantasy colors next. Barbie Witch says that's Divergence. See, I can't tell anymore. Oh my god, unless like somebody writes it down. Like I feel like I can't tell. I'm so bad with sculpts, man. All right, scruffy looking nerf order says green, green, green. I did a whole video about it. I want my She-Hulk. Green went the way of the pocket. Yo, Corey, I'm sorry, my man. I don't know if Danny's gonna do green. We had that one teaser picture, and that was it. So I honestly don't know where we're gonna go from here with green. Oh yeah, you're right. Havlin Star, you're absolutely right. He did release another Black Navy, which was prowess, but it was only the one or two prowesses, and Doll JPF got the other one. So yeah, I haven't seen any other ones being released. So it makes me curious as what to the future holds for Black Navy or any other future fantasy colors at this point in time. So moving on for my last topic for Smart Doll stuff is just basically there's a couple releases that came out. We had Legion with the Vitiligo that came out recently. You know, Marvel and T, which Corey and Anna got their hands on. This was interesting seeing Moment coming back in Cinnamon. That's a good choice to come back and reawaken, as well as Chitose Realityverse, because we don't get many of her. That's nice seeing her awaken too. Transcendence Omega awaken. So we've had a lot of stuff, and Deborah released recently, so had a lot of good releases within the past week or two that has been coming out. But really really good stuff on here. I'm trying to see if there's anything in the feed that I may have missed that we should talk about. I think we pretty much covered everything. Yeah, I think we pretty much covered everything, if I'm not mistaken, in regards to Smart Doll news. Yeah, I think we're all caught up. Yeah. So that brings me to my last topic of the day before we end for today's show, which is a really long show, 3 hours, my man. But the last topic, and this comes complimentary from Tempest Strife, who sent this to me the other day, or was it this morning? I think it was this morning, and I think it's a very good and interesting topic to talk about, and that is this here. So if you like to do 3D printing, there is Thingiverse that has a lot of STL files where you can 3D print stuff. And this user named Claire Bear put up a bunch of 3D printing STL stuff on the site. I'm talking a bunch. There's a whole lot of stuff. So you have head caps, okay? You have wrist joints, elbow joint here. You have, I think this is like, I can't remember what joint this is. One of the other joints. There's the upper arm, the upper bicep joint. This is the shoulder joints. This is the shin joints, the bust. Like, look at all these are the hip joints. This is the socket. Like, there are a bunch of STL files. And from looking at these different parts, if I'm not mistaken, it looks like these are scanned in parts of the original Cortex doll. Like, these look like scanned parts from the original Cortex. Now, I could be wrong. That is just my assumption of what this is. But I think it's very interesting that somebody has already decided to scan all the Smart Doll pieces to make their own doll and put it up on Thingiverse. Oh, it's actually, I'm stupid. It's listed here. It says wrist joint STL, upper leg bone, forearm, hip joint. So I guess that right. The belly, the back of the belly, the thighs. I don't know what this low is. Yeah, I don't know what this is. But yeah, this whole bunch of things. So what's interesting about this that I find really cool is that because this is up there, if you ever break a part and you have access to a 3D printer, you might actually be able to reprint a part that you need, which is very, very possible. Tempest says, I think Pride Prowess in Black Navy would be amazing. Yeah, I think he only did the regular prowess with like the gray whiskers, but yeah, the pride prowess, obviously, I think he'll probably get to that at some point because he's very big in pride prowess. He's released that quite a couple times. But that's just what I think. I don't know if he's really going to do it or not. Kitten Cat Chop says Bust and Cap look straight up from Danny's free released parts. I mean, sure, why not? I mean, it's already there as a resource. I mean, they could have easily downloaded it and just uploaded it here on here. But the thing I think is interesting is about it is it's a resource that you could use should the need arise that you have to print a part that you accidentally broke or lost or whatever. So I think it's very interesting that these files are here. So if you're somebody that uses a 3D printer and is interested in messing around with printing parts for your doll to just get experimental or replace something, this is something that you can definitely do. So go to Thingiverse. BJD like Smart Doll Dolphy is what it's called by Claire Bear. Oh my god, it is getting late, people. But we had a very, very fun and interesting episode today. Oh my god. Today's episode was crazy good. Full of tangents all night tonight. So many tangents. A lot of fun tangents. So what is our takeaway? Shizusan doesn't like scary movies. Shizusan's like a baby when it comes to horror. I don't like scary things. What else did we learn is that I like really risque comedy, I guess you could say. We are doing hashtag Dollvoy. That's what it was. Dollvoy 2025. So if you are living in the East Coast, relatively around Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Delaware kind of area, who knows? We might have a doll convoy going out to DollCon Dallas. That's another thing we learned at today's stream. Aside from like the news, which was all over the place today because of our many tangents that we went on. Yes, hashtag Canon Doll Run is another name for it. What do we got? We got Canon Doll Run, DCDC 2025, Dollvoy 2025. Like we're having a lot of names. We're getting CB radios. We are stopping at many different sites, just non-scary along the way. This sounds like this has to happen. I mean, really, it's sounding like this doll convoy to Dallas, DollCon Dallas needs to happen. Like this is a legit plan that's going on right now, and I'm down for it. Like I'm so down for it. This sounds so ridiculous. It's awesome. But yeah, we'll probably talk about it more as we get closer to the date and I'm able to finalize my plans on what's going on. But I really want to meet you guys down in DollCon Dallas. I'm gonna try my utmost best to try to make it happen. As I just, yeah, I've been meaning to go. It's time. I think it's time. Let's see. Tempest says that the bust is not. It has odd artifacts. This is the 3D scan version of recasting. Is that what it is? Like, would it be legal to scan Y'shtola's head and list it for free? If you're not using it to sell, I think you could. Like, if you're not charging any money, you might be able to. But I honestly don't know the legal ramifications of that. I'm not sure. Let's see. Tempest says, perhaps if you already own the item for repairs, but people can manufacture and sell dolls with that data. Yeah, it's a slippery slope. I really think so. It's hard to judge. And like, I don't have any legal background in that kind of thing. So I couldn't tell you if that would be a questionable practice or not. I feel like if you're not charging any money, it should be okay. But then again, I really don't know. I don't know. Kitten Cat Shop says BJDC is June. DollCon isn't till next year. This is BJDC's 20th year. No, I'm going to DollCon. BJDC probably at another point in time. But I'm going to try to do DollCon next year if I can. Matt says we can start putting it together in the community. The Doll Boy 2025. Okay. All right. All right, people. We I know we're just joking, but maybe we can make this happen. Maybe it'll be a reality. I don't know. We'll see. Arwood says the first time someone tries to sell this, it's a problem. Yeah, I think so too. I think the first time someone tries to sell those 3D prints, it'll start being a problem, I think, at that point. But then again, I mean, it seems like, and I don't know this for sure, but it seems like Danny's like really on board with people using his platform for creativity. Like, a lot of his, what is it, like pictures, like the cartoon pictures, he says is royalty free. Anybody can use them, make money off of it. Same thing with the free patterns, the STL patterns and the clothing patterns. Anybody can download it for free and charge money when they make it. So if somebody were to scan in a full doll like we saw and sell the parts, I guess as long as Danny Chu doesn't file like some kind of claim or suit that it's copyrighted or something, then I guess it's free game. But I honestly don't know. I it's a good question. I don't know the legal ramifications for something like that. If someone burns a CD for free, a game that was sold and the owner still has rights to it. It is their intellectual property, so I want to say yes. Hmm. But if you're burning a CD, that might not be legal in itself because you might not be able to, I guess, maybe, because you don't have the permission of the artist. But I think with Danny, we have permission to use it as long as it's an STL file. So I don't know. It's like it's it is interesting. It's a tricky slope. I don't know what's to come of this, but I do see the benefits of it. Like if something like that were to happen and people start 3D printing parts as replacement parts, I think that's a good thing to have and do. But ultimately we won't know. Unfortunately, we really won't know what the outcome of it is until somebody tries. Like if somebody tries to do it, that's when we'll really know like whether it's like a good or a bad thing. Like when somebody starts trying to sell these things for a profit. So we'll cross that bridge when we get there. As of right now, it's just all speculation. This was literally put up like today. So, you know, we'll see what happens in the future with this. I honestly don't know, if this is legally a good or bad thing. Um, we'll just have to wait and see, unfortunately, until it comes to that point. But I think that's everything today, guys. We had a very man. We have touched many bases today. We talked about conventions. We talked about dolls. We talked about very very touchy topics of skin tone and complexion variations. We talked about doing a convoy. We we talked about so many random things today, as well as doll news somewhere in there it fit. Wow, what an episode, guys. I thank you all for coming to today's episode and chiming in and giving your input on this thing. Like this channel and this community will not be the same without you guys. Like all of you chatting in chat and adding your comments and participating in the discussion is so super cool. I cannot stress that enough. So thank you everybody for coming. But this marks the end, as I'm super tired and I'm about to pass out. This marks the end of today's episode. This is episode 63 of the Doll Symposium. As always, I am your host Shizusan, and my beautiful my beautiful assistant with me today is the very lovely Moment. So thank you everybody for coming. Thank you for rocking out with me today with some very spicy topics. I really appreciate all of you for sticking with me on these things. I can't stress that enough. I know I said that probably 5 or 6 times already, but I really can't stress that enough, how wonderful this community is and how wonderful you guys are at having an open mind and being able to like what's the word I'm looking for, to be able to cordially discuss such tough topics as adults, and be very respectful of each other. It was so cool, and it's so very mature of all of you, and it's just overall nice. So thank you everybody for that. And thank you, Havlin, for the donation during today's stream. Much appreciated, my friend. So thank you, everybody. Next week, we have the next episode of Beyond the Doll. I hope you guys will really like this episode because it's the episode I wanted to talk about like 2 episodes ago, but I kicked it off because I wanted to talk about my experience with buying from a private seller. But now that we can get back to it, I think next week's episode you guys are going to really enjoy for Beyond the Doll. So stay tuned for that. And I'm not sure, we may have a guest for that episode. Because I think an episode like that will really be beneficial if we have multiple voices chime in. So we might have a guest. I don't know. I'm still reaching out to people to see if they want to participate in it. It's not a super spicy topic, but I think it'll be a fun topic to talk about. So thank you everybody for coming to today's episode. Really appreciate it, you guys. You guys are the best. And don't forget, before you guys leave, don't forget we have Thy Geekdom Con, May 24th through the 26th. Please hope to see you guys there. We are giving away a lot of really cool stuff, including a free doll in a lottery. So hopefully you guys will be out there and come hang out with us at Thy Geekdom Con, May 24th to May 26th. So again, thank you everybody for coming. Peace out. Bye.
When we wake, hear the birds and see the sun. Side by side our fears are done. Oh, the good times just begun. Oh, we know what we have, let's hold on tight. Found what we're looking for in life. Call us crazy, but things are finally right. With you and I, the future is bright. You and I, we got it. We don't need no more. Even in the hard times, you and I can weather any storm. Before I sleep, hear the crickets, see the moon. Side by side and through. No limit to what we can do. Oh, we know what we have, let's hold on tight. Found what we're looking for in life. Call us crazy, but things are finally right. With you and I, the future is bright.